question about that because he does the declaration, then he does the birth of Christ, and then he says something for November 5th, 1955. What was that date? Because I know that's the date that he invented time travel, but it was a different date also, meaning it was the day that Nikola Tesla discovered something. I can't remember.
He mentions Tesla?
Well, he doesn't mention Tesla, but it's something along those lines. There was some scientific discovery that happened on November 5th, 1955.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I thought it was just the fact that that's the day that he had...
No, because he goes, and then, or you could check out this thing on November 5th, 1955. That's right. That's the day I invented time travel. Or something along those lines.
Okay.
Nah, whatever. Doesn't matter.
We will have to check on that. All right, so it looks like Marissa's busy at work over there, so maybe she'll get some audio for us. There's apparently a beef between some Hollywood heavyweights, Quentin Tarantino and George Clooney.
Wow.
The two worked together on 1996's vampire thriller From Dusk to Dawn and were thought to be on good terms. Enter Tarantino's mouth, apparently. In an interview with GQ, Clooney outlined the problem. He said he did some interview where he was naming movie stars and he was talking about Brad Pitt and somebody else. And then the interviewer goes, well, what about George? And he goes, he's not a movie star. And Clooney then claimed that Tarantino doubled down on the diss, asking the interviewer to name one Clooney movie since the millennium. That's apparently what Quentin had said. And I was like, since the millennium, that's my whole effing career. So now I'm like, all right, dude, F off. I don't mind giving him S. He gave me S. No comment yet from Tarantino's camp. For the record, since 2000, Clooney starred in some pretty big movies, including Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, The Perfect Storm, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and more.
Yeah, it's a weird delineation. I'll be curious to see what Tarantino says.
The story I also read, not from this particular publication, had said that they couldn't locate any interview that Quentin Tarantino had said that.
Yeah, there you go.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Right. Maybe it was word of mouth that got to George. I'm not really sure.
Because Tarantino was a big Clooney fan. That's why they worked together in that movie.
Yeah, so don't know what will come of that, but we will have to see. Josh Gad is furious with Germany's flagship airline Lufthansa after what he describes as a nightmare travel experience. The Frozen star took to social media to vent his frustration, accusing the airline of downgrading him from business class to coach on a flight from Frankfurt to Greece despite paying for the higher class ticket. He called the situation insane and expressed his disbelief over the treatment he received. The problems didn't end there. Upon landing in Athens, he received an email from Lufthansa informing him that his luggage had not made it onto the flight. Nick.
Yeah. We know this.
Due to the plane being overloaded with baggage.
I don't follow Josh Gad on social media, but this whole complaint ended up in my feed, and I was wondering, is the algorithm paying attention to what I'm writing? Because I was posting some stuff about it as well. I think he posted this on Threads, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
The apology and explanation left Gad speechless, adding to his growing frustration with the airline. What seems to have pushed him over the edge was Lufthansa's poor customer service. He recounted that when checking in at Frankfurt, airline representatives were dismissive of passengers who missed their flights, offering little help beyond a simple, yeah, sorry, but too bad. Gad, who considers himself a laid-back traveler, said that he always tries to be understanding with service industry workers, but this experience was beyond the pale.
Yeah, I had my issues with Lufthansa as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that whole Frankfurt thing, and we were traveling. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it's like, man, you couldn't do this, or you couldn't help us out, or you couldn't. Like, no one was there to help us navigate the Frankfurt airport. Like, come on, man. Can someone assist us here?
It's a fine line going on to social media to complain about it. And I did, and I have. And you don't want to resort to that. I don't want to resort to that because you kind of come across as a bit of a whiny bitch. And
everyone can have an off day.
But to me, Steve, it's a bit of a last resort. If you're not getting anything from a phone call, if you're not getting anything from an online chat, if you're not getting anything from the agents, I think sometimes resorting to social media is a way to get their attention.
I think
at least they'll acknowledge it.
You know what I do, though? And it's actually started to pay off, Kathy, is I will glue myself to the tarmac.
All right.
I mean,
that works
that's
too.
not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But you know what? Also, people do that because the airlines have been known to respond when that's done. So
They do.
that's why people revert to that.
Yeah.
Trish in our sales department, we talked about her when we were talking about Nick with his luggage because she was in Rome and Croatia.
Did she go back and get it?
She has. It's been over a month. She still hasn't gotten it. They don't know where her bag is. And they've actually now resorted to, they just don't even answer her calls anymore.
Wow. Come on, man.
They're not going to compensate her.
What's the airline?
This was Croatia.
Yeah.
So she flew out American, but then there was no American Airlines flight from Italy to Croatia. So I guess they used a different airline for that.
So that's why she has to go back and get it because it's not an American airline.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, real quick. And she was telling me like the stuff that's in there. Like she's like, it's my favorite jacket and the dress that makes me look so nice. You know, like it's like all her favorite stuff. She's like, I was going on vacation. So
you look good.
Yeah. And then not to mention the monetary value of everything in there. It was, and she was saying in the neighborhood of like $3,000.
Well, we'll see if Josh gets his stuff back when he comes back from Greece or not. Speculation is growing that Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, may be considering writing a tell-all memoir. The book could provide an inside look at her experiences within the royal family and the challenges she had faced since stepping away with her husband, Prince Harry. Rumors have increased after the couple was excluded from the annual royal family gathering at Balmoral for the second time. A source close to the couple shared the talk among friends is that it's time to take the gloves off and do away with the diplomacy.
I thought the gloves had come off already.
Yeah, so did I. Do you guys think that this will make it into the next? Is there going to be a next installation of the crown?
No, it's over.
It's over. That's it?
Yep.
Following the success of Harry's memoir, Spare, there is increasing demand for Meghan to share her side of the story. No official announcement has been made. It is believed that Meghan could move forward with the book, possibly with Penguin Random House, the publisher of Harry's memoir. So we will see if that happens. Taylor Swift's ex, Connor Kennedy, has been taken off the market. He is officially engaged to, and I don't know who this person is, Huila B.
Not familiar.
A Brazilian singer. I assume that's how you pronounce her name, Giulia. Julia B, maybe. Okay, Julia, like Julia.
Yes.
Boasted about the big commitment on Instagram, sharing it was the easiest yes of all time.
Yes!
Connor and Julia have been together since February 2022. Connor dated Taylor Swift back in 2012, so we're still keeping an eye on people who dated Taylor over a decade ago.
Exactly.
Did he get the full treatment, the full song treatment?
I don't know.
Because most every ex does at some point in the Taylor Swift world get an ex song treatment.
What band is he? Is he a singer?
I
Musician?
don't know anything about that guy.
I don't know
Nothing
that
He's
about
not
him.
one of the more famous ones.
His bio on Instagram says he's the king of Madagascar.
Oh, really?
I don't know what that means, but I like it.
Wow, royalty.
Yeah.
The Golden Bachelorette is set to premiere in September with Joan Vassos looking for love. And now ABC has revealed the 24 men hoping to win her heart. Her suitors include Mark Anderson, who is actually the father of Kelsey Anderson, who won Joey Graziadis. I guess that's how you say
that's the local guy.
The local guy.
Yeah.
Heart on Bachelor season 28. Other contestants include a retired videographer, a chiropractor, a portfolio manager, and many more. Just like on The Golden Bachelor, all of the contestants are in their golden years and looking for love. Premieres on September 18th, and there's a local name as well, a gentleman who they've only revealed as Charles L., who is a retired financial analyst from Philly. He's a father of two, looking for a second chance at love. His bio says he grew up in rural China and moved to the United States with only $20 in his pocket, and now he's ready to risk it all for love and is hoping that Joan can match his kind heart, hilarious sense of humor, and sweet soul.
All right, so what do you consider the golden years? When someone says someone is in the golden years of their life, do you consider 60 and above the golden years?
No, I would say for the purposes of this show,
They have to, right?
65,
Right.
I'd say maybe. But I don't see...
I think in the 70s and 80s.
Are the golden years considered the end of your life?
That's what I've always thought.
Kinda like,
yeah,
right?
but maybe they're phrasing it as these are the golden years. These are the years because they stay in that 60s realm. I guess no one wants to watch 85-year-old people date.
Yeah,
But-
golden years are typically defined as 65 to 80 or longer. Whatever decade you reach in life, there should be a burst of gratitude, and that's the time.
Roughly retirement age.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So apparently Charles L. is looking to meet someone intelligent and kind, wants to see Britney Spears perform live, and enjoys fishing. Under the fun facts section of his bio, his favorite TV show is listed as the NBA Finals.
I love this,
show, but-
the Golden Bachelor, Preston, because, man, it started off and going, wow, these are adults now. They know what they want. They're gonna, this is resonating and hitting on another level than the superficial nature of the show as it was. And within about 3 or 4 episodes, it was exactly the same as all the other iterations.
Right.
They were doing the same crap.
Yep. We have a clip of John Cena explaining that he is done performing in the wrestling ring after he competes his 40 appearances for WWE. This is him talking about that.
I am 100% done. December 2025 is the last time I will perform in a ring. I will still be part of the WWE family as an ambassador. But the time has come to close the physical performing chapter of my life, and I'm at peace with it, which is why 2025 is going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. It's not going to be sad. But that's it. I am retired. It is not retire for 5 years and then come back for a one-off. I'm never performing again. The jorts, the sneakers, the ball cap, it's all done.
Yeah. And then he talks about his retirement plan with the WWE. Here's that clip.
So after 22 years of participation, and my love for the WWE is very strong, I wanted to do a year. We're going to do about 40 dates, and it's a way for me to connect with audiences around the world one last time. So if you're a dad and you have a family, and like I used to be your guy, or you used to hate me, you can bring your family and be like, I used to scream at this guy and tell him how much he sucks. Let's do that. So basically, I'm 40 dates for you to tell me I suck. It's the last time you know.
I love it. I love it. So he's finished with that, but he's got plenty of future left for him.
I wonder if he's going to continue his character on The Bear, because I thought it was really, really good seeing him on The Bear. Yeah.
Yep. When Team USA gymnast Jordan Childs was stripped of her Olympic bronze medal due to a technicality, Flavor Flav responded by saying he's going to make a bronze clock necklace for her.
Yes.
And true to his word, the very next day, the 65-year-old Public Enemy hype man shared a video showing the new custom clock necklace, which features dozens of bronze rhinestones, while Public Enemy's song Fight the Power played in the background.
So who would have figured that 90s hip-hop and rap would be the savior of the Olympics?
Yeah.
Between Snoop Dogg and Flavor Flav.
Yeah. Jordan's mom, Gina Childs, responded to the post expressing her gratitude and acknowledging the significance of the gesture. She said her daughter is understandably not on social media at the moment, but that she plans to share the thoughtful gesture with her. So he continues to give to those groups. So here's another story on Disney's 23 event that I've talked about a couple times over the last few days. There were some details that were still left out on some of the information that was passed along. So we now have confirmed release dates for Frozen 3 and Hoppers. Frozen 3 will be released Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, November 24th, 2027. Hoppers, meanwhile, will release on March 6th, 2026.
So we
Light right now. Meanwhile, Hoppers will feature John Hamm and Bobby Moynihan and apparently be about a human brain inside of a beaver.
Steve, I think that this is mostly true, that even if it's a quote-unquote bad Pixar movie or a bad Disney animation movie, they're still pretty good. So even if you liked Frozen,
I did.
You'll like Frozen 2.
All right.
You know, it might not be as great as the first one or whatever, as groundbreaking, but I mean, they're all really good.
And anything that came off of Frozen and how popular that was and how much the girls loved it. Like you said, even if it's a mediocre second one, they're all going to see it.
What a major force that first movie was.
Yep.
Could not escape it.
Squid Game Season 2 is drawing closer, but before it hits Netflix, the streamer will give fans a much closer look at what the competition would be like to take part in, rather than watch it from the comfort of your couch. They have announced that they will open Squid Game The Experience in New York City in October, letting people experience the thrill and stress of the popular series firsthand.
Will they actually be killing people?
The live experience will feature frontman having participants test their skills and strategies in challenges inspired by the series, including red light, green light. The attraction will also include a night market with Korean-inspired food, snacks, and cocktails, and a squid mart with collectibles, merchandise, and photo ops. Did you see the reality-based show on that?
I watched a bit of it, yeah.
So they were able to simulate with like squibs and things along those lines.
Right. I wonder if this, if something, or did you mention that a Squid Game sort of component is part of that thing that they're building in King of Prussia?
They had teased that it might be.
Right.
So I don't know.
That Netflix experience?
Yep. The experience, by the way, Squid Game The Experience will be open Thursdays through Mondays starting October 11th. Tickets for individuals and groups going for sale beginning on August 21st.
Have you watched that show on Netflix? It's Japanese, and it is like 100 competitors, and they're all like triathletes.
Yeah.
But
different types of athletes.
Different
you got
types.
like weightlifters versus sprinters.
And the stuff they put them through, like you're talking about pushing your body to the edge.
Do you have any examples?
So there's one where they're all running on, you've seen those sort of treadmills with the curve where you run at full clip.
Yeah.
And they just keep running.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I don't know who the hell. I mean, you'd have to be at that level of fitness. But Casey's right. They have every type of, whether you're a triathlete, whether you're, whatever you're, weightlifting, whatever you're into. What is the other stuff? I
mean, 'cause you just have big people against small people, but like, they're all
blending
they're all
together.
athletic.
And all the different competitions are tailored for to exploit each individual's athlete's abilities.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
It's called Run for the Money?
I think that's it, Nick.
Okay.
That's not it.
That looks more like a running man you're being chased after.
Okay,
by,
no.
It might just be the 100 or
Is it the
something.
100? Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay. A new trailer for season 4 of Only Murders in the Building is out. In the upcoming season, the crime-solving team of Charles, Oliver, and Mabel leave New York for Hollywood as their podcast is being adapted to the big screen. Guest stars for season 4 include Eva Longoria, Eugene Levy, Zach Galifianakis, Molly Shannon, Richard Kind, Kumail Nanjiani, who we have tickets for you to win with the secret text word today, Melissa McCarthy as well. Only Murders in the Building premieres on Hulu August 27th. New episodes will be coming out every Tuesday once that debuts.
I really enjoyed the series. Nick, how do you feel about the going to L.A. sort of thing?
It's my favorite show on TV currently, and I love The Bear, but I something about Only Murders because it's a really good crime show. Like there's a mystery involved with all of it. But the three main stars are just great, and so I'm fine with whatever they do. All the cameos that they end up having on are awesome. I'm a huge fan.
So after the breakout success of season 6 of Love Island on Peacock, the streaming service is bringing back its spinoff series Love Island Games for a second season. The show, which features islanders from around the world, first premiered in November and quickly became one of Peacock's top-performing series, particularly following the Ariana Madix-hosted Love Island USA, which doubled its audience from previous seasons.
I virtually never watched Peacock. The last thing I watched on Peacock was the Ted series.
Okay.
Yeah. But virtually never, I never jump on over just to see what's on it.
I went over there to watch because they were promoting it pretty heavily during the Olympics.
Right.
Mr. Throwback with Adam Pally and Steph Curry. So I watched that, and then I ended up watching a movie, The Bike Riders with Austin Butler.
Right.
But I'm not like on
the
Peacock
motorcycle
ever.
gang.
Yeah, I didn't really care for that one either. But I mean, they were promoting a ton of stuff on Peacock all during the Olympics. But it's like 7th on my list of apps to go to.
Go-tos, yeah. David George, CEO of ITV America, the company behind both Love Island and Love Island Games, expressed enthusiasm for expanding Love Island universe, saying, once you create a brand that has actual value, the sky's the limit.
Well, I mean, years ago with Intercourse Island, we're there.
Love Island Games brings back contestants from the U.S., U.K., Australian, French, Swedish versions of the show to compete in challenges while searching for love. The first season,
that's the goal.
Yeah, it's
love.
I love. The first season was filmed in Fiji and hosted by Maya Jama, with narration by Ian Sterling. It remains unclear if the upcoming season will also be set in Fiji or if Jama and Sterling will return.
It's pretty only because it was Nikki Glaser, but it was F-Boy Island.
Right.
Yeah.
That one was had its moments because she was hosting. But I mean, the most superficial. The casts are just beyond reprehensible.
I really enjoy watching reruns of 30 Rock, and the whole thing on that was MILF Island, and they made and now that exists. You know, and that was a decade ago as a parody, and here these islands exist.
But did they have Jama?
I don't think they had Jama.
Yumma, yumma. Yumma, 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 yumma.
Yep.
No, did not. All right, and then one last thing, and then we'll move on to the clips. ABC has announced that season 33 of Dancing with the Stars is shaping up to look a lot like season 32.
And all the seasons up to 31.
Season 33.
Well, while there's a new cast of celebrity dancers every season, the core group are also returning for their upcoming season. So Julianne Hough and Alfonso Ribeiro will be resuming their duties as co-hosts for the competition, while judges Carrie Ann Inaba, Bruno Tonioli, and Derek Hoff will be returning to
It's going to be great and sexy.
on the judging panel. ABC will announce the celebrity dancers at a later date. Season 33 will be coming out Tuesday, September 17th.
I wonder the thing, like
Wow.
this many seasons of this show, The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, and the people that stay with it for 30 seasons. Now sometimes you have multiple series runs in 1 year.
Right. My friend is that way with Survivor. I don't think he's missed an episode of Survivor since season 1.
Yeah, I have some friends at Amazing Race is their
go-to.
They've never missed any of it, any seasons. Yeah, if you find something, you stick with it.
Yeah.
All right, so we can do the clips now. All right, Good Bones. The next chapter features a mother and daughter duo revitalizing their hometown, one property at a time. Here, Mina Starziak, Hawk, talks about how being on TV has changed the way that she consumes media. Here we go.
I know about the making of the sausage, but on another level, I think it helps me be a better consumer. Watching Vanderpump Rules or whatever it is gets a version of reality, but it's also a very pared down one, one that is made to be consumable by the masses. So you're never really getting the whole picture.
Shut up, huh? We had the host of that show on.
That's
Wednesday.
her. We
That was her?
We had her on. Yeah. So it's a mother and a daughter, and she's just stunning.
She's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful redhead, yes.
And they, and that's what I love about that show is
Gorgeous redhead?
No. The relationship with her mother. Because you have your property brothers, and you have husband and wives, and and then you got the mother daughter. I'm like, that's cool.
Casey, on her credits, she has Steve, a very Brady renovation.
Oh my God!
Which
She
you were
was
just
part of
talking
that.
about. Yeah, she was one of the hosts.
All right, here's the next clip. In Bad Monkey, a police officer turned health inspector in the Florida Keys stumbles upon a severed arm and a new case that he's determined to solve. Here, Vince Vaughn talks more about his character.
Despite the obvious odds, despite the deck being stacked against him, he can't help but kind of follow his calling and keep investigating something that he knows just isn't right. So I think for all of us in our lives, that ability to be resilient, not to get down, not to give up, but to keep some hope and keep moving forward is such a beautiful quality to have.
Yeah!
Bad Monkey debuts today on Apple Plus.
I'm looking forward to that.
All right. So we have the answer to the question that Casey had asked in our stupid question about Back to the Future.
Right.
So let's
What
get some
actually
closure on this.
What happened on November 5th, 1955 that he punched that into
Right.
into
And Preston,
the computer?
You're saying it's simply that.
I always thought it was just the fact that he was how about this date? This is the date when I had discovered time travel.
And Casey, you're saying you believe it has a tie to some other historical
that
event.
he was typing in that date, and that's when he hang on a second, that's the day that I invented time travel.
All right. To me, it sounds like, because I remember it, I think it's more, he was just typing, why did I type in this date? Oh, that's the date I invented time travel.
Well, we have the answer.
All right, here we go. Let's find out.
Here's a red letter date in the history of science, November 5th, 1955. Yes, of course, November 5th, 1955.
Why? I don't get what happened.
That was the day I invented time travel. I remember it vividly. I was standing on the edge of my toilet, hanging a clock. The porcelain was wet. I slipped, hit my head on the edge of the sink, and when I came to, I had a revelation, a vision, a picture in my head, a picture of this. This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
Okay.
Finish the movie.
That was all right. So it really didn't. It answered my question, but it didn't give me any answers.
No, it's the answer.
Yeah, no, that's it.
That's it.
It was just November
Why
5th,
is that date in my mind?
1955.
Oh, that's the date I invented time travel.
He said red letter date in scientific history. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's why that was.
By the way, November 5th was chosen, and Marissa found this bit of information for me, to fit in with the events of the script. The students were in school having things like a non-prom dance, long, bright, sunlit days, and an unseasonal thunderstorm allowed Marty to spend a week in the past, Saturday 5th to the Saturday the 12th, meet both his mother and father the weekend before, spend a week at school, and attend the dance the following Saturday. So
Okay.
it also happens to be Bob Gale's father's birthday. Who's Bob Gale?
One of the producer writers.
He believed that it was a great homage to him. It was just the right day with the right day of the week to make the thing work with the script.
All right.
So there you go. All right, and that's it. And this says
We solve problems.
What does the math method mean, Marissa? She made a note here at the bottom. So
I said the math. Pretty much somebody looked back and said, what was 30
Oh, the
years
math.
ago? Yeah, what was
Okay.
a really good day to go back? And somebody said, well, November 5th was a Saturday, so
Right.
that would start the math.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so there you go.
Yes.
I think
Nice.
we got an answer, folks.
Our investigative reporters.
We will take a break, come back in a moment. Our buddy David Attell is going to be joining us on the program. We go live on Fox Good Day and more. We'll return. Stay with us.
I wouldn't say that.
No,
'cause,
I'm in a lot of bad movies. There's no doubt about that. I'm in more bad movies than your average actor.
See, I don't think you can call them bad. You know,
You don't know the name of any of them. You make eye contact with me and you name off 10 without looking at that computer screen.
Oh,
No, don't do that.
I can't do
Everyone on the air just turned off. Like,
Tell us about your involvement with Anonymous and what that was all
how
about.
crazy is that?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the most famous I've ever been. It's like this week.
So Anonymous, this hacker
I'm
group.
so excited. Yeah.
What happened?
Hacktivists. These Anonymous are world famous hackers, and they hacked in last week to Donald Trump's outgoing message, and
On his
they
voicemail?
changed the outgoing message to saying something like in a Shaggy voice.
Yeah.
I'm actor Matthew Lillard, who plays Shaggy on television. Go check me out at, and gave these 2 web pages that.
It's really
But I was
funny.
like, somebody. I was directing something, and somebody came up and was like, "You just hacked Donald Trump." I was like, amazing.
These are the
I
guys.
gotta tell you, I am so happy to be that guy. I'm so happy. I was like, anytime, bro. You want to roll and bring down the Trumpster? I'm in.
These guys are taking on ISIS too.
I think they're the new era superhero. I mean, look, they do some messed up stuff. I'm sure that people don't agree with everything they do, but.
Can I ask you though a connection? You were in a movie years ago, Hackers.
Sure, yeah. Hack the
And
planet,
do you
baby.
think
Hack the
that's
planet.
do you think that's what the connection
I don't know,
is?
but I wish they would have said, hey, this is Matthew Lillard, serial killer from Hackers. That would have been like, made sense. I think it was just like, hey, dude, what impression do you do? I don't know, I do Shaggy. And then some dude's like, all right, bro.
You mean there
Let's
wasn't
do it. I mean, it was so, like, there was no, I don't
there was
think
no
a lot
committee
of-
meeting or anything
No, I
like
don't
that?
think Anonymous got together and said, well, who should we represent? What about the great actor? I mean, I think that they were just a bunch of loaded up kids going, let's get it.
A couple of quick questions because you worked with some of my favorite directors, Wes Craven and
God
John
bless his
Waters.
heart. Yeah.
Who just passed away recently. But you worked on Serial Mom with John Waters.
Sure. He was my first. The first day of work I ever had by myself. The first note he gave me said, do it again, but don't do it so effeminate. But he didn't use that word.
John Waters.
Really? Yeah.
Who's John Waters?
From John Waters. Like, do it again, but don't do it so effy. And I was like, I wasn't doing effy. Bro, I was not doing it. That was the first, to come from acting school to a John Waters set and not so effy. I was like, it was the most humiliating kind of moment of my life.
Well, it's a great movie. It ended up being just
It is. My mom at the premiere, I was like, my first film, and we're in the black tie because it was this thing for a fundraiser for kids.
Yeah.
We're in black tie. My mom's in the back of the limo. My dad's in the back. And I get in the car, and I said to my mom, I was like, so, what'd you think? And my dad's like, I loved it. My sister's like, I loved it. And my mom's like, nah. So to this day, the only thing I ever remember is with my mom going, it was okay.
Great to see you,
You
Matthew.
guys, thanks. I thought I was going to be here for like 2 minutes. So thank you so much for revealing my life to the entire people
Actually,
of
wait,
Philly.
real quick, we have your first grade teacher right out here in the green room. Bring him in. Bring him in. No. Thank you, Matthew. Great to see you. Matthew Lillard, everybody. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner seem friendlier than ever on their family ski vacation with Tom Brady and Giselle Bundchen.
Okay, here's again. I think they're going to get back together.
Is that your Tom Brady laugh or your Ben Affleck laugh? What is that?
No. This is his new laugh that he wants to do on the show when he thinks something is funny, and I'm not kidding you. He told me this yesterday, and he displayed it for me, or he gave me a little treat, a little taste of it.
I can verify Kathy's story because I was standing alongside of them both when this was presented.
And I'm pretty sure I just walked away. I'm not sure how I responded.
No, you kissed me.
First there was
Kiss me on the mouth.
a painful grunt from Kathy, and then she walked away.
This is material you've been working on?
He's jealous because he thinks Marissa came up with a new laugh, so now he wants one.
Really?
That's what I think.
I'm not jealous.
Is that why you're doing it?
Is that Marissa's new laugh?
Marissa. Well, actually, it's gone away for a little while. I think maybe Marissa was hanging out with some people who laugh like, and she developed that.
Marissa has a supersonic.
Yeah. Oh my God. When she actually, when you crack up, it is so loud it hurts.
And that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's her genuine laugh. It's like just a squeal and then it's
loud
over.
and convulsive and
But it's segued to
why don't you laugh like Burgess Meredith is the penguin?
So now we have Casey's new laugh.
No, but
go ahead, let's hear it.
No, so the genesis of it was I was watching the red carpet for the Grammys on Monday night.
Yeah.
And you had these two talking heads on the TV.
Who were horrible.
They were terrible. And somebody said something that wasn't funny, and then they both laughed. And then so I was like...
So that was your mocking laugh.
That was my mocking laugh. I was there with my kids.
Well, I tell you what, laugh authentically if you think something's funny in your regular, normal laugh, and then you can float that in occasionally in a mocking fashion.
All right.
The other option would be too dumb to go with.
I'm a wheeze laugher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's, you got me when you hear.
Yeah.
I saw this story, Steve. You'd offhandedly mentioned Dachau.
Yes.
I did. I picked up on that, but I wanted to flesh that story out before I moved on to the Hitler stuff. But two historians have claimed that they have proof that Adolf Hitler suffered from an embarrassing secret medical condition. In their new book, which is called Hitler's Last Day, Minute by Minute, historians Jonathan Mayo and Emma Craigie claim that they have discovered medical records proving that the fascist dictator had a condition known as hypospadias, which results in abnormally small and deformed genitalia, sometimes referred to as micropenis.
Micropenis. Hitler had micropenis. So this on top of what you reported, I think, about a year and a half ago, that he had incredibly horrific gas problems.
He had real intestinal issues. He was a vegetarian, which
tiny
actually
penis and gas.
They didn't know at the time actually exacerbated his problem.
Sure, yeah, he was
tiny penis. He had one testicle. This dude, no wonder.
This was a despot in the It's a perfect mix of what goes into making a completely deranged lunatic.
I honestly wonder how much of his demented view on the world had to do with the medical problems he had. He obviously had mental problems as well. But
he was just. But it was all listen. If this is all as true as they're saying it is, that's certainly a stew that creates this kind of lunatic.
Hitler himself is believed to have had two forms of genital abnormality: an undescended testicle and a rare condition called penile hypospadias, in which the urethra opens on the underside of the unit.
What?
Yeah. Recently,
I pee out of a small hole near my taint. Time to invade Poland.
Wow,
I'll show you what it's like.
he declared it. Recently, a German historian also claimed they had evidence that Hitler only had one testicle. By the way, there was a song in 1939 called "Hitler Has Only Got One Ball."
What?
Wow. Who sung that?
Want me to read you the lyrics?
Yeah.
All right. Hitler has only got one ball. The other is in the Albert Hall. His mother, the dirty bitch, cut it off when he was small. Hitler has only got one ball. Goering has two, but very small. Himmler has something similar, but poor old Goebbels has no balls at all.
Wow.
That was a song in 1939.
Who sang that? Bing Crosby?
No, it was Weird Al Yankovic.
Really? Yankovic.
Yeah.
The earlier. God almighty. That's heavy duty for that time.
Yeah, big time.
The dirty bitch?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think it was recorded. I think it was one of those sing-along in a pub type of songs.
Not like an MGM musical?
No, nothing like that.
Ta-ta-da-da, that filthy bitch. Honestly, though, you couldn't exact the kind of revenge you wanted to get on a Hitler. I mean, what could you do that would equal the horror that he exacted upon the earth? But it's also a little comforting to know he had microphallus.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of comforting to know. My son the other day, who I guess is learning about some of this stuff in social studies, had came to me and he said, you know what, there was a guy that apparently saved Hitler when he was a child from drowning. And he lived with the guilt later on with the fact that he saved a mass murderer. But how would you ever know? And how would you ever know? And you would be living with the guilt that you let a child die.
And you saved at that point, which is probably, we don't know if all the things that were in place to make him what he would be were there at that point. You could have saved a completely innocent, which is probably the case, child at that point.
Yeah.
And then the influences of life, realizing he has a super tiny dong and farts a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
I've got issues.
Yeah, apparently. Well,
I wonder if he had put a cork in his butt, if it would have finally popped out.
It would have made his genitals larger.
In fact, I'm putting my division on this. I want a longer unit.
Charlie Sheen claims that a testosterone cream was the reason for his bizarre behavior back in 2011.
Oh, my God.
That's what did it.
Yeah, right?
That was it. It turned me into a warlock. A freaking warlock. I hate. That's the thing I hate most in his vocal. I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
He explains in a new interview with Dr. Oz that was a very specific period
Where's the Tin Man?
Period of time that did feel very out of body and just very detached from all things real.
Almost as if he was completely deranged.
He said, I felt superhuman during some of that. He said it was
a freaking rock star.
A lot of highs and lows. Well, he did ride on a Mercury surfboard.
Mercury surfboard.
Yeah.
I've been riding it on a Mercury surfboard.
Like the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. He said, I was taking
Fantastic Four.
I was taking a lot of testosterone cream, and I think I went too far with it. It was kind of like a borderline, not roid rage, but roid disengage. The former 2.5 Men star also addressed his... thank you, Kathy. So we now give the floor to Casey Boy.
Yes.
No, but he says something has been recurring in his life and is curious if other people, maybe some of us, have a similar issue.
Yes.
We're all about helping people.
We are, and I appreciate that. And that's why I purposely didn't go to Google with this. And I thought I'd bring it here to see if anybody...
People's Court.
If anybody can commiserate. I'm hoping that at least one person in this room can commiserate. But there's this thing that happens to me when I'm trying to fall asleep. Now... There is a difference between trying to fall asleep and just falling asleep, right? Because we were just on vacation, and pretty much every single night I fell asleep as I was watching TV. And then all of a sudden, it turns around and we have to get up early.
You're back on the clock.
And I'm back on the clock, so falling asleep is super important.
Right.
So this definitely happened to me the last 2 nights when I was trying to fall asleep. Just as I'm literally about to doze off into slumber, I get an itch sensation somewhere in my face. And okay, does this happen to you?
No.
Okay.
Something similar does, but go ahead.
So I'm about to fall asleep, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, I get an itch on my cheek. Okay, all right, well, I'll just take care of that itch. Now I have to start all over again. I have to ramp back up again because now I'm awake because I just scratched myself.
Right.
And then I'll go to fall back asleep again. And then it'll be like 5 minutes, and I'm I'm good. I got no itches. And then all of a sudden, there'll be an itch in the back of my head, or there'll be an itch on my neck, or there'll be an itch. And it's a process that lasts for like an hour until eventually I fall asleep.
So it's enough to wake you up, this itch, or to pull you out of your descent into slumber.
Mm-hmm.
Question. Is the itch always shoulders and above?
It's yes. I would say 95% of the time it is neck up.
Neck up.
Neck up.
Okay.
And it's not always on the face, but it is neck up somewhere. And it's always in a different spot. So let's say I scratch the left side of my back head, then the next one might be the front side of my right cheek.
Is there any sort of emission?
There is no emission.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, beforehand.
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute?
When I'm trying to tucker myself out.
No discharge.
No discharge.
Okay.
So that doesn't happen to you guys at all?
Not the itch.
No. I get a thing, but Nick, what is yours? Because you spoke up first.
So mine is, and Casey, it's very similar in that it's the adjustment after vacation because our sleep schedules wonderfully return to a normal person's during the break. When you get back, you have to get back up early again. Mine is I fall asleep, and then about 5 to 10 minutes every night, I wake up, and then I can't fall back asleep.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I drift off. I'll have dreams, and then I'll wake up 5 to 10 minutes later, and then I can't fall back asleep again for like 2 hours.
I have had that happen. That doesn't happen that often to me. But the one that wakes me up as opposed to an itch, Casey, is a sudden spasmic jerk of the body.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And that is
Like a night terror kind of thing?
not night terror, but almost like a
the kicking leg?
like the restless leg thing. I don't know. I have no idea if that's one of the symptoms, but like all of a sudden, yeah, I will kick.
Wow.
And it's like, you're awake now, dude. I mean, you're wide awake.
I had this happened last night where Steve, at some point as I was drifting off into slumber, I think I discovered the secret to our existence. Okay, so that happened, and then all of a sudden, this bright box shined in my face. This bright white box that was it was outlined in black. I remember this, and it was like boom in my face, and then I woke up all of a sudden, and then I couldn't remember the
answer to all the secrets of humankind.
Was it the mother box?
It was not the mother box. Okay.
Preston, the jerk is fairly normal, and it says it happens to people right before they enter the deeper stages of sleep.
Okay, and that seems about right. I mean, like I was on the way to being completely serene, and then,
and yet you've used jerking to help you get to sleep.
This is true. It happens.
It is so weird that both run contradictory to each other. I had a friend who used to have those kicking things, restless leg syndrome. Yeah. Could not sleep with his, they were living in sin, let's just but because he would kick her,
Do you hear what happened to our buddy Donnie down the hall while he was sleeping?
No.
He was sleepwalking, and he fell. And that's why he's on crutches.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him since we've been back.
I got here with him.
He's a double crutcher.
Yeah, Steve told me about it on Monday, and then I saw him, Casey, when we got here at the same time, and he has no memory of it whatsoever because he was sleepwalking and he fell he fell forward. And he's like, I couldn't even fall like a normal person. He's just like, I fell like I was a building collapsing.
Oh, my God.
And he collapsed, and then that's how we heard himself.
Thankfully, he didn't fall down the steps or something.
Yes.
Could have been that very easily, unless he lives in a ranch.
Well, we're looking to see if anybody has the scratching head syndrome that Casey has. But hang on, Keith says he thinks he might know the issue case. We'll go to him. Hi, Keith, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yo, he's got resting itch face.
Resting itch face.
Dude.
That's a good one.
Keith.
Yeah, let's give him something.
We got to give you something.
We got to give him something. I'll give you a choice.
Hang on here.
Either give him that if he wants to go to that, or any of these.
Would you rather go to our Who's Lou party next Thursday and get a wristband that will get you and your guests $25 gift cards each and a Valley Forge Casino Resort cooler backpack, or would you rather have which one, Casey? What are you pointing at?
A 4-pack of tickets.
A 4-pack of tickets to advanced screening of Blink Twice, or a 4-pack of tickets to the Oddities and Curiosities Expo.
Oddities and Curiosities.
All right, you got it. Of course you will.
Well done, sir.
Hang on, resting itch face.
That's good, man. That was really good.
I don't know about it's just weird that it happens every night now.
It happens when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Right.
All right. Okay. Yeah. And I had to, make that delineation between trying to fall asleep and just laying down to go to sleep.
I've been having unsettling dreams lately. And I wonder if it's because of it's because the weed I've been smoking. That's what it is. And I'm thinking about maybe trying a different kind.
hell, I'll just say weed.
I was trying to think of things that I've done differently, and and you try different strains.
That's different.
And you know, it's not different. The strain I'm using right now is different.
I don't know.
That's what I meant.
Something with the heroin is not agreeing with me.
This hasn't normally happened to me, and I'm like, I wonder if I should switch over to something else.
Are there a particular? I don't fully know the nomenclature, but is there a particular type or strain that is conducive to falling asleep?
Oh yeah, indica.
Oh, indica.
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
Versus a sativa, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And so the sativa makes your face itchy, does it not?
I don't know about that, but it does make my heart go pity pats.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't use that.
I have confused the weed that helps you sleep versus the weed that makes your brain figure out all the problems of the world. And when you do the wrong one, Steve, and you're like sitting there and it's 11:30, and all of a sudden you figured out why humanity exists. And you're like, oh, maybe I should have tried the other one instead.
Hang on, we have a doctor who apparently has real diagnosis, Casey.
Oh, good.
Or potential. So we'll go to Jim, Dr. Jim. Hi, Jim. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Sorry to bother you guys at work.
It's all right, Jim. What kind of a doctor are you?
So I'm a neurologist.
Oh, wow.
And Casey's describing something that can sometimes, in like sleep disorders, oftentimes sleep deprivation kind of disrupts your hormones and allows things that normally wouldn't come to surface when you're trying to go to sleep. So the itchiness as your body's kind of ramping down for the evening and the autonomic nervous system is coming into play. You know, if you have sleep deprivation, I assume you guys keep sort of really early hours, you wake up early in the morning, that could be sort of an explanation for it.
Okay.
So the body is just sort of not shutting down when it's supposed to, and bringing stuff to the surface like itching or movements or thoughts.
Okay. And he seemed to kind of correlate this with the change in schedule. And
yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, oftentimes people, insomnia, there's actually a whole area of neurology called sleep disorder, and it's all hormonal based.
Let me ask you, Jim, why would the body generate an itch because of sleep deprivation?
Well, it's more not being able to shut down,
They took him out. He was revealing very sensitive information. They took him out.
The sleep council.
I'm curious as to what a solution might be. If there's anything that Casey can do differently, in the hour or two leading up to bed.
What might help, Nick? Insomnia. That could be an answer to this.
Nick, if there's something that Casey can do leading up to bed, it's like everything he does he shouldn't be doing. On his phone, falling asleep with the TV on.
All of that stuff.
Having a snack.
Yeah. We will go to Joe, has a similar thing as Casey. Hi, Joe. Good morning.
Good morning,
Hey, good morning to see you, Joe. What's up, bud?
I kind of can relate to Casey, but except my itch, when I actively try to sleep, my itch occurs in my back, and it's usually a spot where it's hard to reach, so I have to kind of shuffle around in bed.
Joe, I ended up, and this happens because it will wake me up from time to time. I bought a back scratcher, and I keep it right
for the
next,
bed.
right next to my bed.
Look at you!
Yeah, because it sucks, dude. You get an itch on your back, and it wakes you up, and you can't reach it. You got to get up and go, to the door jamb and kind of try to scratch your back that way. Get a little bitty back scratcher and keep it by your bed.
Do you think psychologically do you get those itches most often in bed at night? Because I only get my back only itches when I'm here.
Okay.
You'll see me like a bear. I rub against the edge of the.
Do you have one of these telescoping back scratchers?
I do not, and I will not have anyone that does not have Kathy's picture on it.
Yeah,
so the corners of these rooms
Kathy's picture on this back scratcher.
I mean, you need that.
Yeah. But the corners of these rooms are actually really good for back scratching.
Yes.
I agree with you on that one.
Do you have the back scratcher clip from Family Guy? Didn't we used to play that?
Maybe. I don't
back
know.
scratchers.
I think so.
Back scratcher.
So, Joe, is this almost every night this happens to you?
No, it's not every night. Some nights it's when I'm actually trying to sleep. Like there are nights when I just pass out.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it, man.
Do you ever wake up and find out that you've been working all night on a skin suit?
Yeah, that's weird. You too?
Yes. It's so crazy.
By the way, Caroline and I just watched. She had never seen Silent Slams. We just watched it yesterday.
What'd she think?
I said that we have to watch this together.
So
you cannot
funny.
watch this without me. Loved it. Loved it.
That's
Thought
great.
It was awesome.
That's great. Yeah,
I was happy.
How do you get your kids to watch movies from before 2000?
All right,
Caroline's
been all about it lately. With the summer, the kind of the plan was to knock out a bunch of movies of must-see films.
Yeah.
And that was one of them, so rock on. I don't know what it'll do for your itchy face, but just thought I'd bring it up.
That's why put on Silence of the Lambs when you feel the itch kick in.
I just, it comes out of nowhere.
Or maybe do the dance. Do the cross your legs.
Cry
the tuck song.
Cry.
I've got a face itch. Let me get up and dance.
First, I got to tuck my penis between my legs here real quick.
This is right. This feels right.
Yeah.
There it is, the tuck
Oh, can't get
And
to
now,
sleep.
when you get a chance, hit it. Here we go.
Yeah.
There it is.
Well, that's good. Just like that.
I this scene when I was watching it, where he does the tuck and he spreads his arms out long like that. I'm like, that's got to be a T-shirt. I have to get that.
Yeah.
And I bet someone somewhere has a tattoo of that on their body. I don't know why, but I would think some psycho would. But.
It is an iconic image.
Anyway, back to Casey's face. So listen, and it's normal. You've only noticed this returning from vacation?
No, I noticed it before, but I never thought to talk about it or find out if there was a reason.
In polite company.
Yeah. But it happened the other night, and then it happened again, and then I was like, man, am I the only one?
Well, that's one of the reasons Casey brought up. He's like, other people had to have had this. And that's why I wouldn't mind bringing it up on here, but nobody's really.
No, nobody really is.
You are an anomaly. I would contact some sort of medical journal.
But I want to tell you, all right, so on Sunday night going into Monday, it happened, I would say, no less than 10 times. 10 different times where I woke up, and so.
Are your bed sheets made out of insulation?
No. The bed sheets, it's a pretty decent thread count. Yeah.
Those things are itchy.
They're very itchy.
That's the bed sheets that are made of insulation are very itchy.
Very itchy.
We will go to Joe next. Hi, Joe. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. What's up, Joe?
I got something a little bit similar like that, but I suffer from something called thanatophobia. It's the fear of dying. We all have it. I mean, we all have that little fear, but mine is a little bit worse than most because I can be like at the point where I'm falling asleep, eyes shut, and then a thought pops in my head, and I get this sudden rush of adrenaline where I jump up. I got to get out of bed. I got to run around.
Wow,
Joe, I have the same thing that happens. I don't get up and run around, but it does.
You get an itchy back.
Startle me awake, but it's Joe. I don't know about you, but literally, Steve, it'll be this way. Like right about to fall asleep. And then I will feel or hear some type of thing that goes, "You're going to die one day."
Oh my
God! So you hear in your mind,
Yeah,
like intrusive thought.
Yep, you are going to die.
I'll hear, not hear anything, but I'll think about it's horrible. Like the way my mind works at nighttime, it's scary. Like,
will your voice tell you that Preston's going to die someday?
One day I'll wake up and I'll be laying in bed and I'm thinking about my kids. And I'll jump out of bed. I mean, it's the point it's gotten so bad where I actually hurt myself.
Wow, man!
Yeah.
Have you talked to anybody, or is there?
I talked to somebody. I'm on the same there with Preston with the indicas. Nothing seems to help, which is kind of scary for me. But I've actually hurt myself. I've gone for like 3-hour walks trying to time.
Wow, man!
Out. Yeah, it's bad. But,
well, that stuff like that leads to insomnia. That leads to you just and you suffer from that as well.
Some nights, I just can't fall back to sleep. Wishing I had resting itch face.
Just wishing.
It's a tough one, Joe.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy. I wish I didn't have my brain. But
they can take that out.
Yeah.
Well, hang in there, and hopefully maybe you can find a therapist who can guide you in the right direction to cope with that.
All right, well, you guys have a great day. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Joe.
Wow,
Take care, buddy.
I used to get that more
Try
when I was a kid, and it was not necessarily the fear of dying, but it was the thought of what was here before we were here.
Oh, some unthinkable enigma of a riddle that will just be like your brother with space.
Yes.
Stephen. Space goes on forever, never ends. What?
That will freak him out.
Yeah.
One of those great evasive concepts of the universe.
And I'll tell you, like as a parent, that was one of the things that I was fearful of is when were my children going to become aware of their own mortality?
Sure.
And I'll never forget when my daughter did. We were down the shore, and I was sad for her because I don't have any answers.
It's kind of an end of an innocence type.
You don't stop crying; it's going to come a lot sooner.
You don't stop crying, you're going to find out by this evening.
Right now.
I can tell you exactly when you're going to die.
Hang on. Somebody has the sleep itch.
Hey!
It's Drew. Hey, Drew, good morning.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Good. What's up, Drew?
Not much. Yeah, so I have the same thing that Casey has. Basically, at night when I'm trying to get to sleep, my mind's constantly racing. When I can finally get it to shut off for about 5 seconds, my eyes finally start to shut. I get this random itch on the back of my ear usually.
Okay.
Usually consists on the back of the ear. But it's like as soon as the eyes start to shut.
And Drew, let me ask you, will you refrain from scratching said itch for as long as possible in hopes that it'll just go away?
As long as heavenly possible. At first I would scratch it, and then I realized it's waking me up. That I'm like, all right, let it go. It'll go away. It'll go. And then as soon as I say it's going away, it festers even worse.
Uh-huh.
Because you're aware of it.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Drew, has this been happening for a while on you?
Oh, yeah. Ever since probably high school, I can't, I don't.
Wow.
I go to sleep with the TV on, if I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, that's even worse because then it's like, all right, I'm back up. And then I start to shut again and the itch kicks back on.
Maybe you and Casey both need to turn the TV off when you go to sleep.
Oh, it's off now. My wife won't have that on it.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
Interesting, Drew. Well, you have company in Casey, so and now we're getting more calls. This is a full community.
All right. Oh, thank God.
Thanks, Drew.
All right, resting itch face.
I see a new island reality show. Itch Island.
Resting itch face. We'll go to Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Good morning.
Good morning. I definitely have resting itch face.
Okay.
Really?
How often does this happen to you?
A couple times a week.
Yeah.
It's happened since I can remember. I actually, when I was younger, I would take Benadryl thinking I was having an actual, reaction to something because it would get so bad. But I've learned that it's just my mind can't shut down. So I actually listen to stories, not watch TV, but put on the sleep timer app, and I'll listen to bedtime stories.
So
and
that
I'm
helps.
usually out within 5 or 10 minutes.
So
Yeah.
there was a neurologist who called in earlier that said there was that connection. Unfortunately, he revealed some sensitive information and they killed him halfway through the conversation.
Right on the spot.
But yeah, that's interesting. So you do have relief from it with a like a story, or you're listening to like an audio book.
Yes.
Okay.
Something so that my mind can focus on something else.
Yeah, man. Wow, that is wild.
Rebecca, let me ask you, is it worse, do you think, on nights where you're, let's say, in bed a little bit later than you wanted to be, and you're now on a time crunch of I need to be asleep by X amount of, X time?
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so when there is that moment where I'm like, okay, I really need to be asleep right now, that's when it comes. It's not like... some nights I just, hop into bed and just boom, I'm out. It's the ones where I'm struggling to fall asleep.
Should I try honestly?
Yeah.
Dr. Rosenpenis says he does those. He's really good with that stuff.
Okay.
Where you'll get a little meditation, and he can do one pre-sleep, and I'm sure he'll do it right over the phone.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Record it. It might be good for you, Case.
By the way, a number of texts coming in of people who feel itchy just listening to this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Just talking about itches.
What about
do that?
Just a quick thing, side thing. What if you're working like if you're cleaning the cat boxes or whatever, and you get an itch on your face? Why does that always happen when you're working with something? Yeah.
No, Steve, mine is when I'm carrying so much stuff into the house from the car. I've just gone to the store. Everything is in my hands, and I have no room to do anything else.
God damn it.
All of a sudden, there's an itch on my face.
By the way, you can let Samantha on line one. She's been on hold for a while. I know that there's indica. There's a reminder that it's the downer is into couch. If you smoke it, you'll be into couch.
Is that what they call it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny. All right.
Yep, absolutely. All right, we will go over to Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Good morning.
Good. Gadzooks. How are you?
Gadzooks, Debbie. We're good. What's up?
Well, I also have resting itch face, besides my resting bitch face.
All right.
Oh, you have both.
I do. And it's the lights go out, I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, I get an itch on the top of my head. I itch it. I try to go back to sleep. I get an itch on my face. And it's almost every night.
That is precisely the same thing with Casey. It halos. It moves around.
And then when you think about it, you're like, oh, and you're laying there itch free for a little bit, and you're like, oh, I think that
It's
was
heading
it.
towards my nuts.
No. You're feeling zero sensations, and then you're like, okay, I'm good to go. I'm good to go.
Yes,
I'm good to go.
and then it happens
And then
again.
it happens again.
If
Just as
only it were the nuts, Casey could fall asleep.
Yeah.
Because you could scratch your nuts and fall asleep at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, that is such a good feeling.
Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate it. Well, good luck with everything. How about this? Jessica's had it for a while. Hi, Jessica. Good morning.
Hi, I'm sorry that Ben Affleck and Jennifer Gardner are bothering me on my way to work.
You apologize.
I apologize. I apologize.
All right, so you have resting itch face?
So I don't have resting itch face. Mine's not as interesting. I have resting body, or non-resting body, I should say. For me, it's always my legs. And I think maybe it's like mosquito bites or something. No, I can't fall asleep. And I notice it's always when I'm doing something right before bed.
Is it? Do you get something akin to restless leg syndrome, or is it more like neuropathy?
No, it's itching, right?
Just itching?
Yeah, no, it's just straight itching.
Oh, okay.
And I feel
I misunderstood.
I feel so bad for my fiance because I will be all cuddly and cozy, and then I'm like, damn it, I have to itch. So I'll start to scratch, and then he's like, oh my God, would you just go to sleep? I'm like, I can't. I cannot stop scratching. And I'll notice if I'm reading a book before bed, I'll fall right asleep. But if I'm doing something and I'm active, that's when I start itching the most.
No kidding.
So I don't know if maybe
bizarre.
Casey wants to cuddle up with a book before he
Or
goes
do a
to bed.
ship in a bottle?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Jessica. Here's
course,
a text
thank
from
you.
somebody says the autonomic nervous system floods the nerves with adrenaline that causes the nerves to fire, causing a neuropathic itch, especially when you are anxious about falling asleep. So my dad had neuropathy,
right,
which manifests in the lower area in his feet. And our Todd McCulloch, formerly of the Sixers, had a neuropathy as well. And so my dad was getting no sleep. I mean, his feet felt like they were on fire all the time. And that's for some reason, the nerves send these false signals that make it feel, that give you some sensation, like you're itchy or you're tingly or you have fire or whatever it is.
What is the
or
medical
heat.
condition that your nerve endings are always in sort of a state of this sort of pain? It is a...
is it neuropathy?
Maybe. There's another name for it, and one of our listeners has it, and I'm forgetting the name of it, and we were corresponding about it. I was asking questions about it, and I forget the exact clinical name for it.
Okay.
But these fits will flare up, and your whole body is basically...
Is it neuralgia, Steve?
That's it.
Okay, which I guess is related, Preston, to neuropathy.
Neuropathic pain. Wow, interesting. Well, body's weird, man. And sometimes it does things that are
for
years, little surprise here.
Yes, and they become elusive. Years ago, I talk about it in the Sleep Number commercials. I had trouble falling asleep, but it was just simply having trouble falling asleep. There's nothing keeping me awake. It's hard to fall asleep.
Can't fall asleep.
Can't fall asleep.
All right, well, resting itch face. If anything we got out of this conversation today, we got that.
Yes.
So we do appreciate that. But nonetheless, Case, hopefully you feel happy in knowing that you're not alone.
Oh, no.
Many other people itching their faces. As they're
Itch
trying to
Island
sleep.
coming
Yeah.
to Peacock.
Yeah. All right, we do need to take a break because we are going to go live on Fox Good Day for a quick run with those guys. We will chat with them, and we'll get to the bizarre file when we return. Then shortly after that, Dave Attell is going to be on the program, appearing at the Borgata this weekend, this Saturday. So we'll be back in a second. Stay with us, please. Thanks for your calls. Defeat is not an option tour, saying that's the stuff that I do look at and cringe a little.
Oh, good.
It was nice to give people a bunch of slogans and T-shirts and all that. But the rest of it was a lot of work. There were things about that person that were empowering, that were vibrant, but I didn't like the anger. I tend to be victimized by my anger at times. It was, I felt embarrassed watching that stuff, watching him implode like that. And then,
You're embarrassed for him.
Totally. That was it. I was embarrassed for him. When his first night at the Tower Theater, one of the first shows was at the Tower.
Might have been local, yeah.
And it was just apparently from what I heard, it fell apart. It didn't have any direction, and it was just embarrassing.
Jeff Ross told us he stepped in and did one.
Yeah.
He would have this touring sort of group of people, and then when he went to every market, he would bring in locals, and he would, for a large portion of the show, just sit in a chair on the stage
and talk
and ramble.
Yeah, and not really have an act per se. So,
and it's not comedy, and it's not drama. It's just rambling.
Yeah,
it's like Lake Wobegon days.
Yeah, exactly.
Frickin' Lake Wobegon.
We need to do a letter of the day. I understand, Casey, you are the keeper of said letter.
Yes.
Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, in the Preston and Steve.
Holy crap!
I thought he fell.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hippie Terminator.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Bust him through that door. Hair all slicked back, shades on, looking crazy cool in his black jacket. Oh my God, he's about to pass out. Quick, somebody.
Stand behind.
Hold that man up.
Help me, Jesus.
Help me. Dear God.
All right, well, the music's already playing. So
No, I know it.
Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by the letter
G is in great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So tomorrow we give away a pair of tickets in the Comcast Sportsnet suite for Jimmy Watson Flyers Hall of Fame night on Monday, this coming Monday, including a parking pass, 2 CSN prize packs, and a visit to the broadcast booth during the game. Is he passing out or is he trying to read?
Did you run from the elevator?
Did I? What?
Did you run from the elevator?
What?
I ran the whole way.
Yeah.
You
ran from home.
You are dedicated.
Well, I had that new sweat removal procedure, so I don't sweat.
Yeah.
You're good.
So,
Got the mirror dry.
got it. I'm dry. Mouth is dry. You know, when your mouth is dry, you're pretty high.
That's right. Thank you, George. Holding puppies can be attractive to some people, but a new study reveals nearly half of women are attracted to men holding fish.
Okay.
Men holding fish?
I saw this yesterday.
What?
Like holding a bass or like a bag with a goldfish?
No, like a bass.
Like a trophy. Like you caught a really big bass and you're holding it out and you're displaying this thing proudly.
Yes.
So why are women attracted to fish holding men?
Well, this is from a fish app called Fish Brain.
Okay, well, they have something to. They have a vested interest in it.
But they analyzed Tinder photos, all right, used by 18 to 35-year-old men in Florida.
Oh, well, there you go. There's a lot of fishing in Florida.
Yep, exactly. And they found that 22% chose a photo of themselves posing with a recently caught fish.
I saw a hunk holding a fish. He was so sexy.
Researchers then polled more than 1,000 members of a college sorority to see how they felt about the photos.
Look at this dude holding the fish. He's like a Chippendales dancer.
And they
I don't think the fish has any friggin' thing to do with it.
Be holding a severed head.
I saw a picture of a guy with a 12-inch dong holding a flounder. Man, fish are sexy.
This guy is no shirt and he's completely sculpted. I mean, he's cut up as you can possibly imagine.
I normally wouldn't give this guy the time of day, but he's holding a flounder.
I didn't even know he was holding fish.
Yeah.
Here's a pile of dead kittens.
Yeah. Looks like he has an otter in his pants.
So they polled these college sorority sisters, and they found that 46% said they found the photos of men with the fish sexier compared to those who had photos without fish.
Get Henry Fonda. Put a picture of Henry Fonda from On Golden Pond up there.
Hold him, Walter.
Am I getting you turned on? You see my droopy man boobies? And my chicken gobbler neck? Am I getting you all hot and horny?
He'd be holding a trout, right?
Yeah.
Which is Walter, the one they caught in the movie.
Are your panties swimming yet? Leave me alone, you crazy old bitch. I'm going to go turn on some chicks. See him with his shirt off and the jeans.
The study was...
I pooped myself. I had a bran muffin and the motion of the power boat made me defecate. Loosen my bowels. And he always had that pain, that old guy pain look.
Yes, you're right.
There's about 7 different things that are incredibly painful going on in my body right now. They start just above my taint, and then it's ending right mid-chest where I'm currently experiencing a full-blown heart attack. Along the way, one of my nuts hurts. There's something in my stomach. I don't know what's going on. And I think I have a tapeworm.
I see that pain look again.
Let's go down and go after the big bass in the pond. You know how the old guys are like, I'm going to go look for the remote. Am I sexy? I look hot, don't I?
All right.
The great thing about my wife is that she shakes so much I get handies whether I want them or not.
Come on.
Oh, my
No, man.
God.
That was not intended to go to completion. And I just called. That's my morning win.
An unintended handy is this morning win.
I mean, we can wrap it up on that note.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Men holding fish are sexier
Yep,
than
there
men
you
who
go.
are not holding fish.
Who knew?
That's something I noticed, and I thought I'd share that with you. Japanese great tits, particularly vocal song. Japanese great tits.
Okay.
All of a sudden, Kathy heard that.
What?
Particularly vocal songbirds.
Oh, like
That's
a
a bird,
titmouse.
okay.
Like
Yeah, it's a bird.
Yeah, a titmouse.
A titmouse is a bird.
Wow.
Yes.
Not a mouse. Yeah.
And
right.
a
Come
Japanese
on, you filthy-minded
Now I'm
bastard.
bored again.
and Japanese great tits are birds.
That's cool.
Not on the sites I go to, but proceed.
They also use compositional syntax in their bird calls, according to a new study published Tuesday in the Journal of Nature Communications.
So the Japanese tits are smart.
Yeah, great tits are talking. I mean, they're actually speaking to each other, which is
I'm
pretty
amazed. They seem to be sort of roundish and fleshy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, the birds.
Yeah, we're looking at a
They
picture.
are kind of round.
Roundish and fleshy.
Look at this picture of great tits of a great tit right here.
What is that part in the front of the great tit that sticks out a little bit from the rest of the great
That's
tit?
the beak. It's
Okay.
not a nipple.
No.
They're
it's-
hairy too.
They're not hairy. They're
fuzzy.
feathery.
They're fuzzy.
You know
fuzzy.
nothing about
They're
Japan.
fuzzy
Yeah.
tits.
So anyhow, this is the lead study author, Toshitaka in Suzuki.
Look at tits.
Said in an
My favorite bird.
Said in an email, our study shows for the first time that birds, like humans, use the rules of syntax to chat with others. This finding reveals an unsuspected degree of semantic complexity in avian vocal communication.
To what level do they say? Do they liken it to like a porpoise, or I mean?
I can only speak about the tits.
Okay.
Birds twitter, chirp, peep, warble, and sing to communicate the location of food of a food source, to warn the danger is near, or to woo mates.
Oh my God.
That was. You two didn't even look at each other.
No.
You just both went for it.
Please welcome Patrick Warburton to our program.
Preston, Steve King, thanks for having me here.
Good to see you, sir. Thank you for being
Good to be here.
I love. I'm a fan of your voiceover work. I mean, I have kids, and they're turning into teenagers now. But from time to time, the TV will be on, and I'll just hear your voice pop up. And I mean, in Mr. Peabody, you were hilarious in that as well. You get quite a bit of work in that field, don't you?
Yeah, I've been doing, since I started about 15, 16 years ago, I had two great opportunities. One was to do Buzz Lightyear in the TV series, because Tim Allen wasn't going to do it, and Kronk in The Emperor's New Groove.
Yes, yeah.
That was interesting, because I didn't do voiceover work, and I just got these 4 pages of a Kronk and an Yzma, and Disney's very secretive with their stuff, and I had to look at this, and you got to figure out what this character sounds like. But first, if it's animated, you got to figure out what the character is. Like, I don't know if he's an ogre or a robot or a giant or what. It's
once that's established, do they kind of leave you to your own devices to sort of hash it out, or does the director say, we want it tonally to sound like this, or
no? See, they don't know.
Okay,
they don't know what a character sounds like until they hear it. You know, they can see in the storyboards what it looks like, what he looks like, and this and that. But they want somebody to come in and show them what the character sounds like.
They rely on you as an actor to kind of
bring
give a
something to the
subtext
table.
to it. Wow,
Right.
okay, that's cool.
So I was looking at it, and all I knew is he's a big guy, and he was sort of a reticent henchman. And I thought, well, you know, he probably doesn't sound dark or this or that.
Yeah,
he seems kind of sweet. He likes to cook, so. You know, it all kind of came down here. And this became a little goofy. He likes to talk to squirrels. I got to be well versed in all the woodland creatures, not just the squirrels. Squeakity squeak.
It's great. I can actually now. There's like 40 characters going in my mind that pass through.
Can I ask you one question about Putty on Seinfeld? Whose direction was it, or was it your idea to just stare off into the distance? Because you got so many laughs without even saying a word some of the time, and it just was, you just sit there and be kind of a brain dead idiot.
I'm going to take credit for I'm staring and Putty was a.
We're going live on Fox Good Day right now.
Represent the best year in sales since 2003. Now, why do you think this is, Preston and Steve? Now, Steve, aren't you the one that has a whole wall full of electronic equipment just for music?
I'm not a massive audiophile, but I'm a big tech guy. So I think the people are embracing the cassette culture because they prefer poor audio.
Yeah.
That could be because this actually, they tried to run it this a little while ago, and now it seems to be, because look, we got a promotional thing that looks like a cassette, but it's actually a Bluetooth player. Yeah. And now they're all the rage. Preston, can you explain the cassette? Is it just completely kitschy?
It's just kitschy. I think it is. I think it's just a look back at former tech and having some fun with it. I mean, although, did we skip right over 8-tracks? Have those not made a... I mean, if you're going to go from vinyl all the way to cassette, we've jumped over a moment here.
The thing with 8-tracks...
8-tracks.
Do you remember? And the thing with 8-tracks is that it would literally move tracks in the middle of a song.
Sure. Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys this, because, I mean, I've been in radio for 25 years, and I never used the cassette on air. Was there ever a time, did it just go straight from records to CDs and then to what we have
carts.
now?
Carts, which essentially were an 8-track.
8-track,
a loop, an endless loop tape. I don't know. I mean, here's the deal. I think that people will play around with this, have some fun with it for a while, and then once they start to hit spots in their tape where it goes like that, they'll go, "Oh, this is stupid."
Yeah.
Because those things.
When the tape comes out.
Oh, the tape comes out,
or twist it,
or with a pencil.
Yeah, the pencil trick.
Yeah.
Yes.
You always had to have a pencil ready.
Did you guys ever have because you'd make, the thing that was great with cassettes is making like mixes for a girl that you liked or whatever, but did you ever have the situation where you accidentally hit record?
Oh, yeah.
And so from there on in, you would listen to a song and wait for that screw up.
In the middle of Hollywood Nights from Bob Seger, a friend of mine had hit record, and you can hear him going, "Oh man, that's wild!" And it was right, and it was one of my mixtapes. I just got used to it being in there.
And it's like, where's my friend?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's wild.
Old Roscoe. I don't know why he did
Now,
that.
you guys, back from vacation, who went the farthest distance?
Nick.
Yeah, I went to the Pacific Northwest, hiked Mount Rainier, and spent some time in Seattle and Portland. I love it out there. It's a great place to visit.
You're going to retire in the western part of the country, aren't you, Nick?
100%. Yeah. I got like 5.5 years to go, Mike, and then I'm out.
Would you like to share a cabin with Nick?
We'll see you next week, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care, guys. We'll see you. I still have tons of cassettes.
Me too.
At home.
Do you do anything with them?
No, I don't have a cassette player. Somewhere we do have a little boom box that I could pop that in if I wanted to, but I have loads of them, boxes of them.
You know what was a great format was mini disc, and I have a whole bunch of mini discs. Do you guys remember? No, I'm serious.
Remember.
I remember.
Do you ever use them or listen to them?
I have 2 players. I never listen to them. Yes, I do. But especially for radio, it automatically cue right up when you were running, and whatever you were putting something on air quickly. The mini disc player was phenomenal.
We had a record player in one of the hotels where we stayed in out west, which was really cool. And so they provided albums that you could listen to. But I think, Preston, something about the cassette is like it's smaller. It's not like carrying around a big record. So maybe for Gen Z or whatever, there's a little bit of appeal and like you can have a physical representation of your music and not have it be as wieldy as an album.
There's
45.
There's a piece of that, but the big thing, if you're going to do it, you want that album cover to look at. You want the album art. You want all that stuff. I think that's part of the big attraction, right?
But CDs, I mean,
I know.
Better tech, and you still have the liner notes and the artwork too.
Yeah.
So, but
none of them are coming back. They'll come back for a hot minute and then they're going to fade away.
I'm with you, Kathy. All right, we got to take a look at traffic. Let's go ahead and get that right about now. Kathy, what you got for us this morning, please?
422 westbound. We've got a slow-moving maintenance vehicle out there early in the left lane, right at Oaks, Egypt Road. And it is causing a little bit of a delay here. Schuylkill eastbound jams the Boulevard to the Vine, westbound the Boulevard to Gladwin, 95 southbound, slowing Cotman through to Bridge. Don't forget there's a new traffic pattern in there. Blue Route northbound, Volume Building 95 to the Media Bypass southbound from Broome Mall to Media. And then on the Vine westbound, you're jammed the length 95 to the Schuylkill Expressway. In Delaware, Route 7 southbound at Newtown Road, an accident blocking the left lane. This traffic report brought to you by Dinovite. Your dog's health begins in the gut. Dinovite is the nutritional supplement created to boost your dog's immune system. You can now try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Visit DINOVITE.com/radio. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Got some stories to share with you. We will start with this little chestnut out of Minnesota. It's back to business after a big scare at Big Discount Liquors in Maplewood. An armed robber was beaten back by an 8-year-old girl and her baseball bat.
Wow.
37-year-old Concobar Morel was charged with first-degree attempted aggravated robbery. Now, surveillance video from the store shows Morel wearing an Amazon uniform and reaching into his pocket before setting a realistic BB gun on the counter. According to an Amazon spokesperson, Morel was a delivery associate for a third-party delivery service delivering packages for Amazon. He will be immediately off-boarded, they said. Store manager Leo said that he was preparing to close the store around 9:30 when Morel walked in and wandered through the store. He said he put the gun on the table and he asked me to give him all the money and everything in the register. And I told him, yes, I'll give you everything. Because behind the counter beside Leo was his 8-year-old daughter.
Jeez.
Leo said that he tried to reason with Morel and explained to him that he could have all the money and his only concern was his daughter's safety. And then surveillance video shows Morel walk behind the counter, gun in hand. Well, that was enough for Leo. So Leo punches the guy, wrestling him to the floor. Seconds later, you see his little girl with a bat in hand come over and take a few whacks at the guy.
I love it.
Before running away. Leo said he didn't even know that she tried to help until he watched the surveillance video back.
You mess with the bull, pussy.
Leo said that his daughter the next day, or he asked his daughter the next day what made her do that, and she told him that she wanted to defend him and that she loved him so much.
Aww.
As of Tuesday evening, Morel is in custody and will be back in court on Friday.
It's wild.
2 drunk guys denied entry to a Hilton Head strip club, decided to get creative, and tried scaling the roof to sneak in.
I know where you can get in.
Only one got busted. It was around 2:20 a.m. Monday.
2:20?
Yeah. Deputies were called to the Cheetah Premier Gentlemen's Club after a bouncer spotted the grossly intoxicated duo climbing the building.
I really want to see boobies.
They bolted, but were soon found across the street at McDonald's. One guy was belligerent, denying that he had ever been to the club, while the other admitted that they were trying to dodge security.
I think you have wrong people, my good fellow.
The belligerent 18-year-old was arrested for public disorderly conduct.
That's hilarious.
While his buddy got off with a ride home and a warning. Both were banned from the club.
Trying to come in through the ceiling.
Which, by the way, stayed open during Tropical Storm Debbie and even hosted a Tropical Storm party with an Instagram post saying, beware of exotic dancing, high heat index, bring your money. But these guys thought they could somehow or another, maybe, I don't know, slip in through an air vent or something.
Sure.
Yeah. Wildlife officials in Montana have euthanized a black bear they believe attacked and injured a 3-year-old girl in a tent over the weekend. At around 10 p.m. on Sunday evening, the young girl was attacked by the predator and taken to the hospital in Billings. Her condition remains unknown. The young girl had been in a tent at Perry's RV campground just north of Yellowstone National Park. It's unclear if there were any adults with her at the time. The campground was evacuated. Traps were placed in the area. The bear believed to have been involved was then captured and euthanized Monday afternoon. The game warden said that there were attractants in the area, which include food and unsecured garbage. Yellowstone is home to 2 species of bear, black and grizzly, and it's one of the few areas outside of Canada where the bears coexist together. Park regulations say that people should stay at least 100 yards from bears unless they are in their cars.
I saw a video for a particular type of tent for someone who goes camping in very rural, bear-frequented areas, and it keeps you elevated and it keeps you hidden.
Okay.
Yeah, and apparently it also helps suppress odors.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, a bicyclist who attempted to cross a major Big Sur landslide on Friday morning fell more than 100 feet toward the ocean, suffering injuries and requiring a helicopter rescue to be airlifted to a hospital. Now, Cody Mortensen, a 28-year-old, was warned that there was no safe route through the Regent's Slide. That's what it's called. It is against the law to ride, drive, or walk past a road closed sign. The slide, triggered after fierce winter rains, is steep and lacks a trail. It's still active. Video shot last month showed dirt and rocks cascading into the sea. As he approached the slide, a construction worker told him the road was not passable, and if he attempted to cross it, he would probably die. Mortensen said he was going to try it anyway.
Come on.
What do I got to lose?
About an hour later, State Park Ranger F. Betancourt arrived on the scene. Looking across the slide, he saw a backpack and a bloody arm below them.
I screwed up.
Mortensen, who survived the fall, abandoned his bicycle and climbed down to the beach, where he was rescued by Betancourt and Big Sur Fire.
You were right.
An eyewitness said that he seemed confused and complained of a head injury. He spoke of falling on the slide, hitting his head, and having a rock roll over his arm. He was treated for a laceration on his forearm, and he was airlifted by a helicopter to a medical center, and he faces at least 2 charges for doing that.
Spoke him if you got him.
All right, this is messed up. This is a terrible story. A Michigan man is dead after a confrontation with a neighbor that began when the victim's daughter touched the neighbor's mulch.
Yeah.
Nathan Morris and his family were out for a walk Saturday morning in their neighborhood when the incident occurred. The neighbor allegedly produced a gun and began threatening the family. Morris sent his family home, saying that he would try to defuse the situation. Around 11:50 a.m., police responded for reports of shots fired. Morris was found dead in the street. He was found in the street suffering from gunshot wounds. He was transported to a local hospital, and he died of his injuries there.
So this lunatic was known as the
crazy neighbor.
The crazy neighbor.
Dear God.
Yeah. I mean, the little girl touches a pile of mulch.
He barricaded himself in his home, but he eventually surrendered to police, and obviously he's in the county jail. All right, we need a lighter story to end with, so I will give you that. Idaho State Police are investigating a collision between trucks hauling molasses and manure on a southern Idaho interstate.
How would that taste?
According to police, a 26-year-old male and a juvenile passenger were traveling eastbound in a 1998 Freightliner semi-truck loaded with manure. A 49-year-old male was traveling in a 2013 Freightliner semi-truck loaded with 48,000 pounds of cane molasses.
And a great taste was born.
And struck the rear of the 1998 Freightliner. Hey, your molasses got in my manure.
And your manure's in my molasses.
About 1,000 pounds of molasses was spilled due to the collision. The Freightliner came to rest in the center median, and then it caught on fire.
Normally I don't like manure, but this is wonderful.
The driver of the truck hauling molasses was wearing a seatbelt. The driver and juvenile passenger with the manure truck were not wearing their seatbelt and were transported to a local hospital. The incident is still under investigation. And that are the stories. Those are the stories that I have for you in the Bizarre File this morning. All right, we are going to take a break. Our friend Dave Attell is scheduled to be joining us shortly, and he is going to be performing at the Borgata this Saturday. So we'll chat with Dave. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
And really it was just a means to an end. It was just a guy who stole Jerry's move because Jerry told him about it. And I thought I had to bring something else in the room there that maybe like a different direction with this character that they hadn't seen. Because if you look at it in the writing, you know, the guy doesn't seem like he's
particularly amusing, right? I mean,
yes, or perhaps even missing a few marbles, I guess, as they say. So I just kind of made him, a little bit clueless.
You need to see his face right now.
Yeah.
He just went into putty mode.
Yeah. And because I think a lot of guys went in there and like, I don't even do that or whatever, like Tony's and Vinny's.
Right.
I just made him just a big idiot.
You made him more superficial than was she, and that because the cast was, and that was her whole thing. They were very superficial people, and you exceeded her, and she didn't know how to deal with it. The
Steve,
character,
but Putty was spiritual, and don't forget
spiritual,
that.
Yes, he was.
He wouldn't steal the paper because he wasn't going to hell.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Your association with Seth MacFarlane on Family Guy and the Ted movies and all that stuff. When did you first meet him? How did that start?
It was just a pilot or a first pickup for this show, and I looked at it and I thought, can I do this? This is terrible.
It's so passionately wrong that there's a certain charm to that. that it's so committed.
Yeah.
That makes it uniquely, I think, lovable. Does that make sense?
I still have to keep explaining satire to my parents. My dad, because they're so religious. My dad was almost in tears one time. He left a message on my phone. He said, in a future episode of Family Guy, God is sitting in a lazy boy chair next to a bottle of lotion, getting ready to masturbate. I wish you would get off that show. Click. And
oh my God. But you have. I've seen you publicly, sort of, say you there. Sometimes you have difficulty. I mean, they have to be happy that at least you voice some reservation periodically to keep harmony at home.
Sure, at times. But I mean, the greatest irony is that I donate. I send money. I got to send money my parents' way, and so we helped them out a little bit here and there. But my mom can't stop donating to her charities. I'm like, Mom, if you're asking for money, you can't be donating.
Right.
One of her charities is Parents for Quality TV, and all they try to do, my mother signed petitions, actual petitions, to get Family Guy off the air.
So you weren't joking earlier when you said
joking.
that.
No, I was not joking. No,
my God.
So I go, Mom, if you can't see the irony, I give you money, Family Guy money, and you take it to get Family Guy off the air. She goes, well, I have a responsibility to the Lord and I don't care.
Oh my gosh.
I waited until I was 50 years old before I decided that I wanted to sing and be in a band.
Wow.
Now I have a Pearl Jam cover band. We're the Bearded Pearl Clams.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, this station specifically was called out on stage locally by Eddie Vedder himself, and Nick was mentioned on stage by Eddie Vedder himself. Right here. Is he acutely aware of your overarching fandom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I probably met him, now somewhere around a dozen times, and he's been super, super cool. He let me write it. I met him backstage once in L.A., and I got word that this is in Los Angeles, so everybody was there. Sean Penn and John Krakauer, and there's 200 people backstage. But somebody grabbed me and said, "Eddie knows you're here. He wants to see you." So. I go back there and he goes, "Yeah, you got to write a set list." And he gave me his email. I wrote a set list.
What?
Yeah, and then I brought my son to his first concert, but his first Pearl Jam concert, and we were there. And
for the set list you wrote,
for the set list,
all right.
Holy crap!
What they open with?
Well, they didn't open. There are about 33 songs, 35 songs in the night.
Yeah.
Probably about 27 of them were my set, So
oh my God!
They didn't open with it, so I didn't know what was going to go on. They opened with Long Road, which should have been on my set list, but it wasn't. And then I forget what the next song was, and then they did Alone from Lost Dogs. I was like, oh wow, was on mine. And
so
then,
you thought maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
and then a few more started rolling out. And
how much time and effort did you put into writing that set list? I mean, did you think it out? Oh, this will flow great into the next song, or did you just put a bunch of songs you liked on there?
I just put I pretty much just put a bunch of songs.
Okay,
and I had some friends that I know that are hardcore.
So did you weave
the rest of the show is courtesy of Patrick Warburton.
Did you weave in hits and rarities and
Yes.
you? All right. So as a Pearl Jam fan, you had it in the back of your mind. I got to I when they were in town, I asked him to open up with "Release," which was my favorite Pearl Jam song, and he said right, but he said no. But
what do you think you are, Patrick Warburton?
Right. But he asked later. Because he was crafting the set list when he came in and did the interview with us when Eddie did that, and there's a song called "Comeback," which was on the last record, and I asked him to play that, and they did. So I don't know. This is I'm totally geeking out when talking to you about this, but I'm really glad you can appreciate it because as a Pearl Jam fan, it means a lot.
I was at a show one time. Well, this is the show when because my wife just knows how ridiculous it is, and. We're backstage, and Eddie gave me his Social Distortion T-shirt. And we're walking back to the car, and I haven't said a word. And but my wife knows I'm just beside myself. He just gave me his email. I'm going to write a set list. He gave me his Social Distortion T-shirt. And right when I got to the car, I just looked at her, and I held the shirt up, and I sniffed it.
Of course.
And then I looked at her with this terrible frown on my face, and I go, it's clean.
Now, be honest.
Brilliant.
Is it your whoopee now?
Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Why'd you staple this in the right-hand corner?
Because if you notice, I messed up the left margins, so I couldn't staple in the left.
Okay.
Wasn't it for a church event, too?
It was.
And isn't the left side evil?
Correct.
There you go.
That's why I did that.
The left side's evil?
Sure.
That's
The
why
left side is
That's why if you
evil.
write with your left hand, they used to hit you with a ruler to make you right.
Did they really? Yeah, that's right.
right, yeah.
That's right. I remember hearing that left-handed people were considered
Something.
touched by the devil or
wasn't
something
good.
like
Yeah.
that.
The word sinister is from the Latin meaning left.
Shut up.
Oh.
And I think when you get your communion, you're not supposed to get it with your left hand. You're supposed to get it with your right.
I always do the chuck
No,
it.
they put it in your left hand.
Yeah, you're supposed to put your right hand on top of your left.
Yes, like this.
Not your left hand.
Have you been doing it wrong all these years? Kathy,
the other way.
you're evil.
This sow is mine.
Your mother is going
Oh
to
my
have a
God.
few words for you today.
She probably will. I'm going to ask her. I
My
don't think I
daughter's
believe you.
been seduced by the dark side.
Because you pick it up
She
then.
does everything right. She eats tomatoes to avoid anal cancer.
Because you pick it up and feed it to yourself with your right hand.
I don't know.
You know, that's what I always thought.
I don't know.
Okay.
Because it doesn't feel right to pick it up with my left.
Right.
But I had been doing it, I thought, the opposite way.
Go have mass in Ireland.
They're living a lie.
right?
Yeah. They like a Mississippi
Oh, really?
poker dealer. Yeah.
One of these days, I'm just going to go and pick it out like with my fingers. He goes and hands it to me, and I'm not going to have
Can
a
I
place
pick
to-
my own?
Yeah.
Can I pick my own?
No, not
I
that
wanted
one.
that one.
The game we're going to play is young versus younger. All right, so, and we use that term young
Oh, I crack up at this.
loosely.
Yeah. I don't fall anywhere within the realm of younger-ish.
Marissa came up with a list of terms a while back that pertain to different generations, okay?
She did a good job.
She did a really
It's
good
hard,
job.
yeah.
So there are some terms on here on the younger list that might be a little fresh and new for us, the show members of the Preston and Steve Show, to know exactly what that means. Now, vice versa, we have a list called young, which is really old. And it's a list of terms that are kind of from an older generation. Not going way back, but something that we here, the members of the Preston and Steve Show, would definitely know what they are. But we want to see the younger members of our family, the Preston and Steve interns, if they know. Our interns playing this morning, we have intern Aaron. Hello, Aaron.
Hello.
How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Excellent. And Aaron's just learning how to use a microphone.
She's a video chick.
I wasn't thinking about it.
How long have you been here, by the way?
Since August.
Wow. Okay. All right. So she had the microphone like backwards. Not quite backwards,
that
but it was
bad.
pointed the wrong way. Then we have intern Sam. Hello, Sam. Sam, you're one of our, I guess, amongst this crew, one of the newer ones, right? How long have you been here?
Since September.
Since September. All right. Just shortly after Aaron then. And then we have intern Chris, or 11, right?
Yep.
And where did you get the name 11 from?
At the Camp Out for Hunger at the Papa Shot Challenge, I scored 11 points.
That's all he can get.
Which I think is like an all-time low.
Yeah, 11 points.
Stephen Hawking got 13.
And Chris, you played this game last time.
I did.
You did pretty well.
Well, we all stunk. All the interns stunk. I guess I was the least stinky.
Okay, so and we've done this only once before, and also joined us last time. We have intern Brianna. Hello, Brianna.
Hello.
And how long have you been here?
Since January.
Okay, all right. So you're the newest of the crew.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to try this out. And we're going to see how it goes. I have 8 callers on the line. So here's what we're going to do, guys. Because playing for the Preston and Steve Show will be Steve, Casey, Nick, and Kathy. I have the answers here, so I cannot play, and Marissa's in the other room.
For the same reason, Alex Trebek doesn't play Jeopardy.
Exactly. So I'm going to throw out a term. You're going to write it down. We'll give you a few seconds to write it down. Then I'm going to have to ask for an answer, no matter what it is. Okay. All right. Let's go with this one. Butt chugging.
Butt chugging.
Yes.
Butt chugging.
Yes. BUTT. Chugging.
I wrote drinking beer through your gaping anus.
Ah, and you know what? You're correct. Alcohol enema for faster intoxication.
Yes.
That is correct, Nick.
Drinking a beer after it was poured through an ass crack.
Ah, incorrect. So Steve is the only one that got that right. Okay, let's go to our interns, and it's younger. I'm going to give you a word from a previous generation, and let's see if you can figure out what this means. Malarkey.
Malarkey.
let's go to Aaron, who is going to be playing for listener Fred. Aaron, what do you have for malarkey?
I put bull crap.
Bull crap. Yeah, we'll
Yep,
accept
that's
that.
right. Yes!
It's meaningless talk or nonsense. That is correct. So that means that listener Fred wins Big Short on Blu-ray, I believe.
Yes.
All right, and then let's go to Sam, who's playing for Ed. Sam, what do you have for malarkey?
I also had crap.
All right, yes, we'll go along with that too. Let's see, Chris, what did you have written down?
I put nonsense or crap.
That's it. Yes, absolutely correct.
They're rocking it today.
We'll get a prize for Matt on line 7, and then Brianna. Let's see if we can do a clean sweep. Brianna, what did you say for malarkey?
I'm the only one that got this wrong. I said nickname after a famous actor.
Nickname after a famous actor.
You know, Malarkey?
No. Do you remember an actor named Malarkey?
No, it just kind of sounded like a famous last name. I don't know.
Okay, all right. No, that's incorrect.
Oh, very Malarkey-esque in that performance.
Let's see. We're going to do an acronym, okay?
Okay.
Thought. T-H-O-T.
Oh, I know this one.
Thought. T-H-O-T?
That is correct.
Oh, man.
All caps. T-H-O-T. Thought. Do you guys know what it is?
I didn't
Don't
know
say it.
I didn't know it stood for something.
I do.
Okay, all right. So
I think I know.
A couple of the youngers know
I'm
what
thinking
this
through
is.
this.
Let's go then to Steve first, and this is for listener James. Steve, what is thought?
Touching horse ovaries tactfully?
No, that is incorrect. Sorry.
Oh, man.
I will not take
Oh,
it.
God. All right.
Son of a bitch.
right,
Just do phone?
Yeah, just do phone. Give him the
Dave,
hotline
we're
number.
going to call you. Okay, we're going to call you on the phone. I'm signaling to him right now. Oh, this is the international telephone signal. So we're going to give you a buzz here and see if we can get him on. Damn, and that was a good intro.
That was a
great intro.
Wasn't that over the top?
Oh, man.
So we got the Borgata and
Can you do it again?
one of our favorites, a legendary comedian.
I'll do it
Friend
again.
of the Preston and Steve show.
All right, so while we're getting ready to get him on, I will remind you about a party we have coming up a week from tomorrow. It is the Who's Luau at Valley Beach at Valley Forge Casino Resort. And this will be a free admission event.
That's pretty damn good.
21 and over.
Yeah.
And we announced that we have a special entertainment. And damn it, I need to get I will forget the name if it's not
Paradise
written down.
Island.
Thank you. It's right there, Casey. Paradise Island Entertainment.
Yes.
And they are doing the full Hawaiian experience with us. And it is free of charge. All you have to do is be at least 21 years of age or older.
If you've ever been to Hawaii, you know this kind of entertainment is wonderful. If you've only seen it on the Brady Bunch or whatever show goes to Hawaii, you know it's a lot of fun. So it's going to be a great time.
Yep. So thank you to Paradise Island Entertainment. You can come and join us for that. It's a week from tomorrow. So just a heads up on that. All right. Now he's on the line.
Yes.
He's ready to go. And we're always excited to talk to our next guest. And he'll be appearing in the beautiful Borgata and Hotel and Casino. All right. I said it all before. Let's welcome back again, Dave Attell.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
Good, Dave. How you doing, man?
This is like the meeting of technologies. I'm on the Zoom and my flip phone. So, I don't,
the flip phone. He actually does. He has a flip phone. We can actually see him now, and you'll be able to see this as you're watching us on YouTube as well. But he's holding his phone and zooming at the same time.
Like a reenactment or something.
Oh, wait, why do you have a
Anyway,
flip
I don't
phone?
know what's going on, but thank you guys so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to the Borgata, of course.
Oh,
So,
you know you're one of our absolute favorites. I mean, we adore you. You've always been so kind to the show. And just in general, I was watching the Hot Cross Buns, your most recent special. God damn, that is so funny, Dave.
Thank you.
I know a lot of times you talk about, I'm the old man or this or that. Nonsense. You're every bit as vital as you've ever been.
Oh, coming from you guys, I mean, that's a big compliment. I got some really great feedback, and the comics were like real behind me on this special Hot Cross Buns on Netflix. But let's face it, I mean, there is a lot of content out there, so I'm just letting anybody watch it. I mean, there's so much to see, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to keep it short. You know, it's under an hour, and I wanted to keep it moving. You know, there's a lot in that special. So yeah, that was a good hit for me. So thank you. Thanks for watching.
I have a tech question for you. You mentioned TikTok. How does one watch TikTok on a flip phone, by the way? How do you do that?
I don't watch it, but I think I'm the last guy not watching. But I know that TikTok is out there 24/7, and these TikTok crowd work videos. That's all the young comics talk about now. It's just like, you know, crowd work, here and crowd work there. And I think we're from a different generation where like crowd work was a part of comedy. It wasn't the whole thing of comedy, but hey, I get it. It's real quick, in and out. You know, that's why people like it. That's why people do it. But you know, the long form special, like Rogan just did an hour live stream, and like think about the pressure of like a live stream, like anything, but like stand up especially. Like you don't know if the crowd's going to be good. You know, you have no idea. It's not like you can just play the hits. You got to have reaction and all that kind of stuff. So that's a lot of you know, that's a lot of pressure, you know?
Yeah, Dave, I just had this conversation with someone you know, I'd done stand-up a while ago, certainly never, you know, enjoying the level of success or reverence that you rightfully have received because of your career. But he was just asking me, because I'd done it for a little bit, about all of this crowd work stuff. And I'm like, well, you know, I think it has its moment, but I think the people who actually sit down and write, I can quote lines from you, you know, I can go on and on and on, stuff that it just make me laugh when I think about it. And I don't think crowd work, while it is a wonderful art form and those who are adroit at it are very talented, I don't think it has the same sort of gravitas. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that there's people who are like better than others, but it's kind of like you know, we all just sat through the Olympics, right? It's crowd work is the breakdancing of it, you know, like sometimes it's goofy, sometimes it's, you know, it takes your breath away. So I would say that, you know, yeah, watch the videos, but like it's really the long form comedy that like is what it's about, you know?
Yeah.
These specials. The only problem is that there's like a lot of specials and there's a lot of shows. So I'd say for the comedy fan, like I just did Kill Tony with you know, at Madison Square Garden. I was just like on the panel there, and like, you know, people went to that show and then they came to the Comedy Cellar after that. So that's a lot of comedy in one night. That's like 5 hours of comedy, you know? Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's like Oppenheimer and then like, you know, a House of Dragons there. That's a lot of time.
But, you know, I listen, I watch every special that comes out, I watch it, right? And I did watch the Rogan special. I didn't watch it live. I ended up watching it, you know, after the fact. But, you know, the fact that he's out there performing without a net, and you had mentioned, you know, like, you don't know what kind of crowd you're going to get. And I just, and when you said that,
it's total, you know, eggs. I mean, it's total, like, you got to really, you know, it's just amazing how like this live streaming now has become like a comedy thing, because I wouldn't want to do it, you know, like I would love to have 2 shows, you know?
Yeah. But
I think it's super impressive that you did that. You know?
When you had mentioned that, I immediately thought of Live at the Sunset Strip, and because you talk about the crowds and the performance and all that. And so this is one of the most popular, most famous comedic movies of all time, like stand-up Richard Pryor live. But what you don't know, a lot of people don't know, is that he did a set the night before and he completely bombed. And it was it's the same material, but it was a different crowd, it was a different night, and and that's all live. And so when Joe decided to do that, it's like, man, you're taking a big risk there.
Yeah, I think it totally pays off. But when you bring up that old like Live at the Sunset Strip, I'm always wondering, like, that is like the touchstone of everyone's, like, you know, like the beginning of like the new wave of our, you know, just like the cool of comedy.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just wondering, like, how much did that cost? Because he did redo the whole special. He got everyone back together. You know, it's like the crew, I guess, what were they doing? They were just hanging around. Like,
Right.
I'm like, I'd love to hear the behind the scenes on, like, you know, I mean, did they go like, hey, yeah, we'll just give you a free pass? Because I know for me, you know, my guy who did my special, like, he went above and beyond, man. We edited, we did all this stuff. And at one point we were like, this special was too short, because it was 37 minutes. I kept going, I want it shorter. You know, no one will watch a whole special now. And then Netflix came back at us and said, it's got to be at least 40 minutes to get in their algorithm. So we had to add time back in. And then, you know, my guy saved the day, Scott Gallick, and he's the director. And he said, you know, I know what to do. And we put some stuff in at the end, and that became the thing that everyone talked about. So
I loved it. It was great.
I think that was like a last minute thing. That was like a week before, like, and you know, whatever. I didn't make any money on that special. It was labor of love, and like you guys know that really it's about the live shows. That's what comedy is. So I'm really hoping people come out. You know, it's the summer now. I think you guys know it, and I know it. It's like everyone's busy. It's like been incredibly hot, but you know. I mean,
listen, you're not going to get a better. You're astonishingly funny, and the Borgata is a perfect venue for this. And I'll say this just again on the special. What I loved about hot cross buns is that it had a club feel. There's a sort of a big trend for a while, and I get it. And Bert is doing, the Kreischer's doing these big, stadiums and arenas, and that's cool too. But you can't replace the vibe of an actual club,
Oh, thanks, man. Well, I was on tour with Bert this summer. Like I did a few of his dates, and I got to say, there's nobody better to other comics than Bert. And Bert, he does these bus tours during the summer, and he hits all of these towns. And I got to say, he hits the towns that I've only seen on like these crazy cold case towns. You know, it's like they're like 3 flights away. So you got to bus in. You got to get on a bus and get there. And the crowd loves it. And he does these shows, and he has so many, not only cool comics, just people, just cool people like Jelly Roll.
Yeah,
just is a super comedy fan. He was hanging out. He went on. Marcus King. I mean, just so many really talented people that were a part of it. And Bert really treats everyone great. The guy is intense. The way he gets up, he has adventures that he does, for his fans. He does content stuff. And then we all go on. So that's 4 hours a show.
It's astonishing. Yeah,
so
it's astonishing.
It's amazing,
he's a great friend of the show. We've had him on many times. We'll never forget, Dave. He was on tour. I forget which tour it was, but he stopped by. We do a thing called the Cardboard Classic, which is cardboard contraptions going down an inner tube run at a ski resort.
Yep.
And so he's on tour with this bus. The comedians all build a contraption to go down. They stop off, they do the run, and continue on the tour. I mean, his energy level is astonishing.
Yeah, he makes the most of it. Other guys are just getting up. He's already been out there. He's fishing. He's it's every day on that tour. You never know what's going to happen. You walk in and there's an animal rescue thing going on.
Yes.
All kinds of crazy stuff, but great stuff. And I think that's cool that he includes everybody with that. So I think he's one of the best of the best.
Yeah. Well, listen, he has a lot of gratitude, and I think it's because of the work that he put in to get to where he is, and I think that you have a lot of gratitude as well. And there was a certain point in your career where somebody took you under their wing, right? And at what point in your career did you start taking people under your wing?
Well, I think you guys know how it works, where it's you go out and you have to bring support with you, usually an opener and then an MC. And I would say that a lot of the guys who are now super hardcore headliners, I've toured with Jay Okerson and I think just pretty much all of them. At some point, I brought them out on the road, and they basically have just any good comic, they now are out there doing it on their own, and they're really it's funny because Jay was on the same tour with me. It's following Jay is an experience. He is hardcore.
Yeah.
He is super funny. Nobody does it like Jay Okerson. And I was I couldn't have him open for me now, that's for sure. It would be a tough follow. But yeah, it's always cool to see people get better and better and better, and the path they take. Some guys, movies and TV. Like me, I'm a road guy, so always meeting up with the people on the road is cool. And when Bert does that thing, or there's these comedy festivals, you get to see everybody, because usually we're all out there alone, or maybe one or two of us at a place or something like that. So when we're all together, it's another level. Everybody steps it up. Everybody wants to do good, but they also want to have fun. It's
and I think
competition. It's really just more about the camaraderie. Sorry, that's a tough word.
No, and I think the different possibilities exist now, where where there may have been years ago a real heightened sense of competition and exclusion, and everyone was sort of covetous. Everyone has sort of found their wheelhouse. You talk about the Tony Hinchcliffe at the Brady roast. He
crushed it.
He just killed it. And so that's something that has never seemed to appeal to you, at least. And I don't know if I'm reading that right.
That I don't mind talking to that, because one of my best friends in comedy is Jeff Ross, and he's the roast master. And years ago, he used to ask me all the time to do it. And I was there's something about just the intensity of the roast of first of all, I'm no PG act, but still they really don't use a filter there anymore. You know, like some of the jokes, like super mean, but like super funny.
Yeah.
But I would say that like, you know, you spend a lot of time working on it. It's not like they just get up there, you know, they work on it. It's like really an intense setup for that roast. You know, they got to put their time in, and they got to like, I think Nikki was talking about it, who crushed the roast as well. Like
amazing.
Just about like, you know, running their set and like making sure, you know, the jokes were tight and all that kind of stuff. And that's what a professional does. And like Jeff's been doing this for years. And I'm always like, you know, I want to work on my own stuff. So in a way, like the roast thing never really I like when I go on stage with Jeff and we just kind of, you know, like we riff and we get to wing it and stuff like that. And like that to me is the excitement. But like the prepared, you know, the amount of preparation you have to do, like you really have to commit to it, you know? So I always give him credit the way he puts this together and works on the material and all that kind of stuff. So it's not just like when people watch at home, they should realize that like they put a lot of time into it, you know?
Yeah.
Dave, about a month ago, my son and I drove most of the way across the country. We drove here from Philly to Colorado, and you came up because I told my son about Insomniac and how that was such a great way to get to know towns around this country. And I'm curious, and I, you know, went off the air 20 years ago, and maybe you're tired of talking about it, but I'm curious as like, is there any place that you did on Insomniac that you would love to get back to, and maybe a place on Insomniac that you would never, ever want to go back to?
Oh, yeah. Like I know like it has been a long time now. And like, there definitely is moments where I'm always like, I guess cause I'm old and my memory's starting to go a bit, but I'm like, did I do this town on that show? Like, I don't remember, but I've seen this sculpture somewhere, but it looks like I remember walking around here late, you know, so it's all kind of blurry, but there's plenty of towns that I wish we had done. I think that was, that, you know, when people watch that show, they should realize that was like, you know, trying to get a lot out of a really tight budget, you know, like Comedy Central at that point, you know, they had a lot of shows on, and, you know, their show to this day that really is like kind of think brands the network would be the Chappelle Show. I mean, there was really no show better than that, and like holds up to this day in terms of like cutting edge and just funny, you know, like almost like it's like evergreen. It's that good, you know?
Yeah.
But we were also on the network at that time, and I would say that budget was really the thing that kind of like, you know, kind of decided where we're going, and also weather and events. So there were tons of towns where like, you know, I would love to have hit, but maybe instead of in the dead of winter, in the summer, you know, Montreal would have been a great one.
Yeah, right.
You know, we're there in the middle of the winter, you know, there's nothing going on. And like, I guess that's part of the charm of the show, but there's a ton of towns like that where it's like, oh, if we had just come a week later, there would have been all this excitement, but we're here now. And like, you know, so.
If you're just tuning in, Dave Attell is joining us, be at the Borgata on Saturday. Shows at 7 p.m. And Dave, you've been on, we've had you on for about 15 minutes or so. We're watching you via Zoom. He's on the phone, but you've lit up your second cigarette so far during this interview.
Yes.
Were there any that came before that you got on the call with us?
Let's see. I haven't slept yet, so there is like a bit of a piling going on here, but I'm about 4 in.
About 4 in. Okay. I'm a former
half, so that's what I tell my doctor. I only smoke half. He's like, oh yeah, that'll save you.
I'm a former smoker, and I remember the first one of the day would always cause me to take a dump. I don't know if that's if that does it for you
brewing.
too.
It's
brewing. Okay. All right, just checking. I didn't know where we were.
You got me down. Hey, I got to give a tip of the hat to you guys, because I know, you know, the last time we were actually all together was at the food drive for Thanksgiving, and I was just looking at your site and how you have so many other things now. You know, you have so many things that you give back to the community. And I was in Philly maybe like a couple months ago, I believe, and I was just like, man, I should have set it up where I came in to see you guys. So I owe you guys. I owe you an
we would love that
studio for sure.
Yes,
but you got an open invitation.
Yeah, your record is unimpeachable with us. You've been terrific to us. I wanted to ask you, Dave. You know, looking back at some of the notes and stuff, and when you wrote for SNL, you wrote what for the 93-94 season, about a year or so.
Yeah, I was there for about a year, and it was a tough year, I think, all the way around. But you know, I got to meet great people there, like you know, Jay Moore, who's a friend of mine. Like, we shared an office. I knew all these people as comics, but you know, and I had known like Adam Sandler, you know, at college, actually, NYU. But you know, it was cool to see the process there, but it was never my thing. Like, I kind of almost knew week 2 that like, I'm a stand-up comic. Like, I want to be a road. I want to be Sam Kinison. I want to be Hicks. I want to be, at that age, that's what I was thinking. But it was like big opportunity. I tried to like do it. It wasn't like I'm so funny they don't get me. It was kind of like I didn't have that skill set. I was used to writing for myself and like writing for a whole other way. You got to really like learn that. That's why at that time the Harvard people, like these guys were super smart, and they also like, they knew all the format, they knew all that kind of stuff. So in terms of being a writer there, it's very stressful and it is super competitive. And like if you don't get anything on the air there, then you're kind of like sitting around. It's kind of like, it's kind of like if you lost the World Series, but you only have one one dugout. So there's like half the people are celebrating, and you're just kind of sitting there with a towel around.
Right, right. No, I can
move
see
over. We're having a great time over here. Can you open the champagne? So.
Well, you were, but I was looking at the cast list, and there were a number. Sometimes the cast favors improv people, and sometimes comedic actors. But there were a lot of you had David Spade, you had Chris Rock, you had Sandler. So there were, as you said, there were a lot of people who have gone on and had started with stand up. So you don't. I don't think they've ever had, at least that seems one stellar point in SNL's history, where a large portion of the cast came from the world of stand up.
Yeah, I think also that was like I guess they could say a rebuilding year, because whatever was going on, they were like, this is tough, this is difficult, and like they were losing really great people. Like I think Mike Myers and Phil Hartman were leaving or thinking of leaving, and then that was the last. That was it was cool to meet them. Mike I've met since then, and the past Phil Hartman, who's a comedy legend. It was cool to, as a young person, to see them like just work and how talented they are. And all I can say is like when I don't really watch the show. I'm usually working, but when I see how big the cast is now, I'm like, it was almost like. Somebody supersized it. There must be like 20, 30 people on there.
Yeah.
And, Michael Che, who I know is a really funny guy. And, he's a big part of that show. Like, he's a great guy. And there's a couple other comics there that, like, I think either they write or they're on it that I'm like, yeah, they are super talented. They, deserve being there and everything.
You're right.
But
because
young people out there, I would say, like, their dream is to be on a show like that. I was like, do you need that now anyhow when you can start with these apps and like TikTok once again? I'm not being paid by TikTok, but I'm like, there's people who do something on TikTok and they have more hits or whatever likes than like, an entire episode of a TV show.
Well, look at Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis. Shane
is one of the most talented guys I've ever seen. If you've seen his Trump impression, then you know that like, man, that is like otherworldly how good that is.
Yeah. And so here he was about to be on SNL. He gets, they say, things are getting a little hot now. He comes back as a guest host, and he's got a show on Netflix, which is doing well. So to your point about there are other venues and other ways for you to access what you're looking for, SNL may not be absolutely a necessity.
It is like American, like, it's universal. So like, I totally understand the importance of that show, but I love that, like, Shane came up through like, almost like through the woods, like he went out there like feral, like Jeremiah Johnson, and like worked his way, through the wilds of YouTube. And he's just that good. You can't follow the guy. He's that good.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
Well, listen, you've also got another gig coming up in the area. You're going to be at the Stress Factory. When is that?
Yes. Did they give you the date?
Yeah, it's the end of the month.
August. I know that.
Yeah. August 31st.
Labor Day.
Yeah.
Let's do it, people.
Ooh.
That'll be awesome. We'll all have a couple of drinks, watch a show, and then we'll get up early and go buy mattresses. Yeah.
All right.
It'll be a great time.
I never had figured that out.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't know. I think on the next Zoom or something like that, we'll probably figure it out, because the last one, remember, was audio, no video.
Yeah. We got the other part worked out.
We'll do another one.
We'll make it happen. All right. Well, the gig this weekend is at the amazing Borgata Hotel Casino. Dave is going to be there, 7 o'clock show. You can get tickets through daveattell.com, and I'm sure you'll have a great time, man. It is wonderful to catch up with you. We will see you in person next time, hopefully. All right, man?
Thank you. Have a great weekend. And once again, you guys rock. You really
We love you. Thank you.
man.
David Attell, guys. One of the absolute best. Comedian.
Listen, it goes so in depth with him in my mind that there is a joke. I think one particular joke I think of at least a couple of times a week. He talks in his act, and it's from years ago. I don't like to travel. He goes, because when I was a kid, my father beat me with a globe.
Casey, do you remember what year?
That's just brilliant.
What year he came to camp out?
Oh God, no. No, it was within the past decade or something like that.
Yeah, it was a while back.
And
Pre-pandemic,
right?
right?
He just like pulled cash out of his pocket, and I was like, dude, and he just threw it in the bucket, and then I took it.
And the best was his first line on stage. One of his first lines when he got up and he goes, "Wow, this food drive is amazing." Although people keep coming up and try to give me food because Dave looks a little bit like somebody who might live on the street.
He walked up in a hoodie sweatshirt with like his hood over, or up.
Well, in the movie Trainwreck, he plays like a homeless guy.
That's exactly right. That's kind of how he was dressed. I think he wore that same costume.
He's one of the best.
I saw him. It was a last minute. I was in Boston already, and he was playing the Wilbur Theater, and so we went and saw him. And I'm telling you, like the first 30 seconds that he got on stage, this is the unrehearsed material. This is just him greeting the crowd.
That's where you know.
That 30 seconds, like, oh my God, it was just roaring, outrageously so funny, man.
We had him in here one time, and it's one of those conversations where when it's in the DNA. And we've been blessed to have a number of great comedians come through here where it's literally in the DNA, but no one exemplifies that more than David Attell. And he was just it's almost like that Bugs Bunny cartoon where they're walking from at the construction site and one steel girder gets lifted up by the crane and he's just managing to land each of them. It's just terrific.
Steve, this is probably an unfair question, and I hate to put you on the spot because I know that Norm was probably your all-time fave, Norm Macdonald. Currently alive, do you have a favorite stand-up comedian? Because I know Dave ranks up there.
Attell would have to be. Dave would. Yeah. I mean, He's definitely in the top three. They becomes more of a sort of a gelatinous.
Sure.
Yeah, that just kind of undulates around.
Is there somebody like that you default to? Because there are a few for me where I'm like, if I'm having
Greg Giraldo.
Okay.
I mean, in the past away,
right.
Greg Giraldo, now Norm, Macdonald, Attell. I think of the new cluster of the people who are newer-ish, who are precise, like Nate Bargatze. I think Mulaney.
Yeah. So Mulaney's in my top two. To answer the question that you asked to Steve, not me. But Mulaney and Tom Segura are my top two, and then Nate Bargatze is a close third.
Yeah. How about you, Nick? Your favorite?
I share with Steve. I mean, if I'm having a bad day, I'll watch old Norm clips. Like currently alive, Bargatze's up there because of his delivery. It's so everyman, but there's a nuance to it that
it belies a great deal of thinking and precision.
Yes. But that's not how it's delivered.
It's not how it's delivered.
No,
Right.
the way he delivers, like even when he was supposed to meet his wife, they were taking separate flights to Florida.
Right.
And he has a bit about that where
you don't know how airports work.
You don't know how. He asks her what time are you leaving, and you're thinking like, okay, what time's your plane taking off? And she's like, she just gives some like random time of like when she was actually going to leave the house. But anyway, it was the nuance. It was how he delivers this story. He's just so good.
I'm not a really good barometer for great comedians. I remember when Louis C.K. was all the rage and everybody was going on and about, and I watched. I'm like, it's not really doing it for me. And then I feel like, do I not know what's funny?
Dude, I remember.
That's a question, but sorry to jump in here. I know what you're saying, but and when people ask me, and I've had a number of the interns come through here and ask about advice as far as stand-up. I just hosted the semifinals, not hosted, but judged, one of the judges for the semifinals at the Helium Comedy Club. Here's the rule: if it makes you laugh, then that's a comedian you like. Yeah. That's it. That's all it is.
Preston, I'm the same way. There are comedians out there that people love, and I just don't find them funny.
Yeah.
It also depends on how you're watching it too. Like if you're scrolling in bed at night and watching on Instagram, and the old Norm clips will still make me laugh. But if I'm in person, if I'm at the comedy club, Big J gets me every time. Like his delivery on stage for me is part of the real comedy for it. And Big J really like makes me belly laugh.
Tom Papa's my favorite.
Yeah, okay.
He's He works pretty clean, and it just his stuff speaks to the way I live my life. Yeah. For whatever reason it is, and
There
it
you
cracks
go.
me up.
Yeah.
Sam Morril has a new special on, I believe it's Netflix that I just watched the other day. I say new that it came out in 24. I don't know what time this year it came out, but man, he's so good. Yeah, there is a lot of I watch a lot of stand up comedy. It's just,
I'll
it's
tell
just,
you
I
what.
love it.
To the local scene, a good number of the competitors for the semifinals at Helium, we have funny people in the area who are really heading for big things. And if you look at the conga line of people, who have come through this process in this area. It's very impressive.
Yep. So, all right. Well, anyhow, great to have Dave on, and he's going to be at Borgata on Saturday. I would like to give away some passes to another event that we have coming up. I had mentioned this earlier. We have these special wristbands for our Who's Luau at Valley Beach. It is a week from tomorrow, and we have announced that we will have Paradise Island Entertainment. They're doing the dances. They're doing the fire stuff, the knives and all that. And they're going to do some crowd participation stuff. We were talking to Marie over there. She's really excited.
Yeah.
And now we are really fired up about this because there's going to be
Absolutely.
a full-on stage show taking place. It's free, by the way. But if you are caller number 15 or 16, I will give you and your guest each a $25 gift card that's food and drinks for you.
By the way, if you've never been there, it is, they've got the sand, they've got the whole vibe going on.
The pool.
It's wonderful.
The different levels of the decks and all that. And then obviously there'll be food. We're working on, some proper pork for the evening and everything. It's a full Hawaiian luau vibe. And you'll also get a Valley Forge Casino Resort cooler backpack. All right, so callers 15 and 16 at 215-263 WMMR. But come out and join us. We'll be socializing, having some cocktails, a little bit on the early side, 6 to 8 p.m.
Is it weird that I'm really excited for the fire?
Dude, no, it's
In
not
fact,
weird.
Nick, I was just thinking, can we shift it later because it would look cooler in the dark?
Dude, we got to see if Casey can wear one of those guys' outfits from Paradise
He
Island.
totally
Entertainment.
can.
Yeah, he can?
Yeah, he can.
Okay,
Yeah, he
excellent.
totally can. But can he play with the fire?
I don't think we're going to let him do that. But anyhow, we'll take a break.
Tragedy tonight at a local casino.
Maybe you'll be there for a news story. Please join us. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us until I get a correct answer. That is incorrect. Sorry, James. We got to let you go. Hold on, Casey. All right, so Casey is playing for Alec on line 2. Casey, what is yours?
Too hot ovaries, testicles.
No, sorry. Incorrect. That is wrong. Buzz. Wrong answer. All right.
Preston's like, go camera 2.
Exactly. I'm just going to direct. Kathy, what do you have for thoughts? T-H-O-T.
The hell out there.
The hell out there. You're actually the closest. Yeah, you actually got one word right in that. So that means that Chris does not win. Is that who Kathy was playing for? All right, so for listener John, we go to Nick. Nick, what does thought stand for?
That hoe over there.
He's correct. That
How do you know that?
Over there.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these Bay and thought and that kind of nonsense. Yes.
And Chris, did you know that that's what it meant?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. So fair enough. Write this down. Hepcat. H-E-P-C-A-T.
There we go.
That's actually even before our time.
I don't know what that
Our
is.
time. Hepcat.
Hey, good luck with that one.
Look at the look on Brianna's face.
Preston,
Is it like an acronym?
well, we're not going to give you the answer to that. How are you going to
I
determine?
hate these terms.
Hepcat. Hey, Preston, how about Ovodio Doe?
Yeah, right. We'll throw that one in there, too. So it's of the same era. All right, Hepcat. You guys got it written down? All right, let's go to Aaron. You're playing for listener Evan. Aaron?
I know this is wrong. An STD test.
No, it is not an STD test.
I wish Hepcat was an STD test.
Sorry, Evan, we got to let you go.
I don't know what it is, and that's what I thought. It sounds like an STD.
All right, let's go to Sam next. Sam, what do you think Hepcat is?
It sounds like a part on a car, like the hepcat is broken.
That's a good guess, but that's way
Sounds like
off.
hubcap, right?
So sorry, Jay, you don't get anything. Chris is playing for listener Steve. Chris, what's a Hepcat?
I put like a test a nurse would take.
A test a nurse would take. Kind of like the LSAT.
I got a 550 on my Hepcat.
No! Sorry, Steve. All right, and then listener Kim, Brianna is playing for you. Brianna, what do you have as a Hepcat?
I'm sorry, Kim. I said scanner.
A scanner. No, that is incorrect. So, Kim, we got to let you go.
Do you guys know what it is? What a hepcat is?
I don't know.
It's a cool person. Guy. Cool person. Yeah. He's a hepcat.
Is a term for jazz and beatnik subculture.
Yeah.
So that's what that means. All right, here's one for you guys. Throwing shade. What does throwing shade mean? What does throwing shade mean?
Insulting or disparaging.
That is absolutely correct. Talk trash about a friend or acquaintance to publicly denounce or disrespect. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you.
Ready, Bell? Q Bell?
Yeah, Q Bell.
I'm the worst.
Kathy, what does throwing shade mean to you?
I just want to say I wasn't kidding. Like, I heard that and I wrote down the first thing I thought it meant, and I put sunglasses on.
Oh my God! What? That's shades. I thought we were going to nail this.
Sorry, listener Brian, you don't get anything. Nice job, interns. You kicked ass. A new study confirms why we close our eyes when we kiss.
Oh.
Do you close your eyes when you kiss?
I do.
Yeah.
Open them occasionally, but no, I don't stand there wide-eyed the whole time.
Your face looks funny this close.
Well, that's why you close your eyes. You can't see, right?
I think so why do you do it?
When it comes to kissing, we close our eyes in order to focus on the physical sensation of kissing. So
it's interesting because my wife and her brothers, a couple of her brothers, will close their eyes when they're eating, when they actually are chewing. Mm-hmm. And that would be in line with this.
Yeah, to take in a little bit more, to cut off one sense. One sense you can focus, you can sharpen the other ones a little bit more.
Why do you squint during a handy?
Maybe it hurts and you don't know.
Yeah, loosen it.
Take the welding glove off.
You don't want to look at him right in the eye.
Sorry about accidentally texting you. I hope this makes up.
But honestly, when something really does taste good, don't you go, oh,
you do.
Close your eyes. I'm a sensual eater.
You are.
Oh, God. Dude,
yesterday you were doing it yesterday with that chicken.
Oh yeah, G-O-Z-O. I know.
Do you on Thanksgiving? Do you stick your head down and lick the stuffing out of the turkey?
Dude, Thanksgiving is a bit of an orgy.
Yeah, oh my God.
For me,
it's very sexual.
It's my favorite. It is my favorite holiday of the year because of the food thing. Last night I had tiramisu ice cream from Brewster's. Oh man, and I was driving and closing my eyes.
Is your mouth watering?
I'm actually salivating a little bit.
But it is.
Did you hear it?
It's sexual, right? I mean, it is. Yeah. I was having roasted vaginas and boob soup last night.
Oh,
and I'm like, this is very sexual.
Boob soup. Hey, Preston, I thought I don't normally suffer from this. Where you get annoyed at people eating and the sounds. But on Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday last week, I was going to jump across the table and strangle you.
Me?
It was Preston, yeah.
Really?
With those soy crisps. Every single one, you were like, you put it in your mouth and it's...
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
First bite is always super loud.
But how else are you going to eat them?
I know.
They're crispy.
But I know what Casey's
and I eat one at a time.
I know what Casey's talking
Was your
about.
mouth closed?
Yeah.
Then you can't suppress the crunch.
I don't. Well, that's a good ad. That's a good ad slogan. You can't suppress the crunch. How did you guys fare in Lent anyway? Is it done? Are you done? You finished?
I actually did great. I'm very proud of myself for how I did. I gave up chocolate,
and
I still haven't had it. Although technically, yesterday I was allowed to have chocolate.
Why? Why yesterday?
Because it's after the Holy,
crucifixion.
The Holy Thursday vigil. You're allowed to.
Did you do Sundays?
No.
So you haven't had it.
So technically, all right. So I didn't do Sundays, but I did. All right. So hear me out here.
Okay.
I bought Skinny Cow ice cream cones, and the kind that I bought it on the box, because everything Skinny Cow had was chocolate based, except for these one ice cream cones. It was an ice cream cone, vanilla ice cream with caramel drizzle. All right. What I didn't know was that the cone was laced in chocolate.
I'm seeing a whole new business here, Preston. Relent lawyers who can argue your case.
Yes.
But luckily,
it is. There's
Dear Father, my client was unaware that the drizzle was, in fact, chocolate on the box, and I want to enter into Exhibit A. It says caramel.
It is though. It's always like you always have to have. There's always a reason. Like, well,
Sid Shulman.
here's why.
Yeah, heavenly lawyer.
Let lawyers.
Your Honor, Kathy gave up processed foods. Was unaware that this is a new process. She was absolutely in a state of dementia when it occurred.
But I mean, luckily, when I had my first Skinny Cow, it was on a Sunday, and I'm like, okay, all right, I get away with this one. But I was mad because nowhere on the box did it say that there was chocolate.
My client was in a car with a whole bunch of children heading to Menchie's, and yeah, when you're, by my reckoning, when you're having to, but this and I couldn't. The light was dim in the room.
Look, you tried.
You have to give me some credit.
I give you credit.
I give you all the credit.
I read the boxes.
I give you all the credit. Now, did you, after taking that one bite and you realized it was chocolate, then you throw it away and get rid of it?
No, it was on Sunday, so I got away with it.
You ate the whole thing. You can't throw it away after you start eating it.
Thank you, Kathy.
You probably did better than
Kathy
I did.
will represent you.
Yes. I'd like to call Kathy Romano as a hostile witness. If the soul doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Yesterday, we had a conversation with our assistant program director, Chuck D'Amico. Where is he? Is he in here?
Let's get him down here, Chuck, if you're in the listening area.
He had told us this before the break, that there are several foods that through his life he had never even tasted. That not only does he not eat these foods, he has never tasted. And these are not, like you said earlier, Steve, escargot. This is not foie gras. These are not these exotic things.
It's the never tasted thing that blew us away. Yeah. I could see I don't eat it because I taste it, I don't like it. And as I've said many times, to put this in perspective, and I use this because I think it's effective for you to understand, these are foods that if you were to walk around during the day with your mouth open, probably would end up in your mouth anyway.
Yeah.
So you almost have to actively avoid ever tasting a lot of these foods.
So apparently I'm going to try a whole ton of food that I've never even tried in my life. I'm not all that interested in food. And when I am interested in food, when I am hungry, I want to eat something I'm comfortable with, something I know. So I get what I know, I get what I like, and I move on. And then a lot of stuff I've never tried because of the way it looks, the way the texture looks like it would feel in my mouth. They're shocked and mad at me for some reason that I haven't had a strawberry. Or they go, you know what, I'm just like you. I'm just not interested in wasting any time or money on something I haven't had before, because the risk of not liking it, like I said, I just go with what I know and what I like.
I think Chuck is a little nervous about this. I mean, he's gone 43 years without ever sampling any of these items, and now we're going to make this happen. I think melon has a very mild flavor to it.
Let's go with the...
Fine, I think show me a melon.
Let's go honeydew.
All right, he's saying cantaloupe. Jay's saying cantaloupe.
Is this cantaloupe?
Cantaloupe is outstanding. All right, Chuck is now eating cantaloupe. First time ever.
Cantaloupe.
It's juicy.
What do you think?
It's good.
It's good. And you've never tried it.
That's pretty good.
All right. I know you want to eat
mine.
one. Isn't
One
that
down.
good?
There we go. Good.
Cantaloupe is outstanding. Now, you want to try something completely different and have a cucumber?
Just stay away from the hair and fur and all that stuff.
Go. All right, cucumber.
No, we're gonna get to the hair and fur. Cucumber, he hasn't had it yet.
This is very
eat the whole
mild.
thing or bite?
Bite half of it. Just
no, it's very mild. There's virtually no flavor to it.
I don't trust a thing you say.
Just take it. It's extremely mild. It's great.
But I could use a cucumber.
I love cucumbers. All right, so Chuck is sampling the cucumber.
Seeds in it.
Yep, but they're edible.
You don't like seeds, right?
No.
All right.
You can get what's called an English cucumber that doesn't have any seeds in it at all.
Got a funny accent.
And socialized medicine.
Yeah. What do you think of the cucumber?
Tastes like nothing.
Yeah,
you know what's great? A little salt on it, man.
Ugh.
Outstanding. What do you mean,
Salt.
You know what you do? You
cucumbers?
put a piece of cantaloupe on each side of it, and it tastes great.
He's never had a strawberry.
All right, this to me is one of the holy grails. Now, are these in season? Because
from Florida.
Okay, when they're in season, they are they're sweet and they're wonderful.
Get one of the really red ones.
Really red.
That means more juicy.
They're
This
both.
has green on the end. Is that okay?
A used feminine napkin.
See, this scares me.
Don't use that one.
Cut the tip off of the green.
You circumcise it.
Just get another one.
Pick a different one.
That's better.
All right.
Now just take a bite of it.
Now, those are seeds, right? Are they hard?
No.
Those little seeds?
No.
Seeds?
Well, they might be to you, but most...
He's nervous about the strawberry.
I'm excited that I might like it, but I'm afraid to bite it.
Just stick the whole thing in your mouth.
I'm excited that I might like it, but I'm afraid to bite it.
It's so good. They're one of my favorite
That's
Favorite
my
fruits.
first album. Yeah, I say.
Go ahead. All right, he's doing it.
I don't
First
like-
time ever.
He doesn't like it already.
He touched it. He touched it to his lips and said he didn't like it.
Bite it.
I don't like the feel of it.
Shut up and bite it.
Put the whole thing in your mouth. Just do it.
Just do it. Go.
Go.
Go, 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 go. All right, he's chewing on it.
Bits in it. It has little bits in it.
Just chew it up.
He doesn't like it.
No, it's like sand.
It's like sand.
It's a strawberry.
Oh, dude.
No, because of the texture, huh?
No, the sandy bits.
Quick question. The sandy texture of it overrides whatever pleasant taste it might have.
They're like little crunch. They feel like bugs or something.
So the question is, does the sandy texture override the taste of it?
It ruins it. It
Okay.
ruins
See
it.
if these are odd.
Yeah, I'll give it.
Strawberries.
It was juicy and tasty, but when you find those little...
Do you like a Nestle Crunch bar?
Yeah.
Think of those as like crunches in a Nestle Crunch.
Well,
now finish it.
We have
Try mango.
Let's do mango.
So that's not the same as that other yellow?
Here, wait, hold on. Let me, because
Usually orange is more ripe.
here, yeah, do this piece right there.
Okay.
That's all right. Okay, go ahead.
So what is this again?
This is mango.
Mango.
You've heard of this before, right?
Uh-huh.
He's like a little kid. He touches it to his lips before
He's shaking. Now that is a
It's
fantastic
got
fruit.
it's like tangy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tropical.
Yeah, it's not so bad because
It's citrus.
no seeds or crunchy bits.
Do you want to do raspberries? Because they have what Chuck says is fur on them.
He won't like them, but let's have him try it. And they're loaded with seeds, too. Remind you, I was talking about all these other things that we have to give away. There's that trip to join us at spring training.
Yes.
Next year, it's spring training 2025, and this is in conjunction with Philly Sports Trips and PJ Willihan. So all you have to do is go by your neighborhood PJ Willihan's. Look for the Preston and Steve spring training display, find the QR code, click on that, fill it out, and you might be going with us. And listen to what you get. If you win this, you get 4 nights hotel accommodations at the Wyndham Grand Clearwater Beach. You get airfare, boat party on a private yacht, tailgate party for the game, and an invite to one of our live broadcasts while we're down there.
And again, we had a blast. I'd love to see what the display looks like. If you go into one, do us a favor and click a picture and send it to us.
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah. So this contest ends on September 8th, and it's open to everyone 21 years of age and older. If you need the rules and details, go to WMMR.com, and while you're there, you can also find out how you can purchase a trip package from our friends at PhillySportsTrips.com as well, and you will travel with the pros.
Yes.
If you do that. All right, it is time to go through some surveys. Survey says...
Wow, the British edition.
This one will speak to Kathy. This is a list of America's favorite hobbies and activities.
Oh, the activity queen.
Yeah. So this is according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics for 2023, the Time Use Survey. They found that Americans spend about 5 hours a day on leisure activities and hobbies. Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah. The only thing that we spend more time on daily is sleep.
Well, if you're talking about leisure activities like TV, watching TV.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah.
So we all spend our downtime in different ways, and a new survey of more than 60,000 Americans reveals the most popular hobbies and activities in the U.S. So,
well, golf for you obviously is a hobby,
and that's a 5 hour, with the drive there and warming up and all that stuff. That's a full day worth of activity.
Stogies with the boys.
It's the one. Sometimes there are stogies with the boys.
How often do you drum?
Beverages. You know what? It's interesting that you asked that. I was a daily drummer, without question. Would go downstairs. It's very convenient. My kit's in my basement. It's an electronic kit. Doesn't bother the family. Yep. And I'd just go down and spend at least a half hour every day, sometimes more than that. But since I have started gaming again.
You're gaming. Are you Harry Potter?
Yeah, the Hogwarts Legacy game.
Oh, my God.
I've been on
a seductive game.
For a couple of months now. That has replaced my drum time, and I'm feeling pretty guilty about it.
That's why Neil Peart was looking at you at that concert, because he knew.
And there's no real opportunity to drum within the Harry Potter game.
No.
Yeah.
There is none. But, that's those are my main... drumming and golf and now gaming are those are my leisure activities. I'm not a big TV watcher. Mainly on the weekends is when I might spend some time watching some shows, but I don't do much during the week. I do a lot of show prep and things like that. That's my surfing. That's all I do. And I've pretty much given up social media, so I don't sit there and scroll. I don't do that. Some people eat up a lot of time doing that. But I can run down the list if you guys want.
Yeah,
You
let's
can
find
chime
out.
in. Do you want me to start at the top or the bottom? There's 10 of them all together.
Well, Chuck's the PD, so I think it doesn't matter. You can
That's right.
go whatever we want.
Build if we don't
At
have
number 10.
All right, so we'll go to number 10. And Steve, you'll love this. Leisure time activities, board games. 26% of the respondents enjoy playing board games in their free time.
By the way, my wife has taken to doing these ladies' game nights where they come over and play board games.
Where do you
have some
go?
wine.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just sit in the basement with a gun in my mouth.
What about
But
dominoes?
they are having a blast.
Yeah.
They really have a terrific time doing
It's
it.
more about drinking, by the way. No one really cares about the board game. If she's serving alcohol, that's why they're there.
What about dominoes? Could you play like Mexican train dominoes? That
No.
is, it is not a board game,
No.
but it's not a board game.
Like cards don't even really, and that's similar to dominoes.
Yeah, like a blackjack or a few some games.
You would
Yeah,
play
something
that?
that's quick.
Something that's quick. You know,
It can
like I got
end
the game of
immediately.
Mousetrap. I like to play with the Mousetrap.
Well, and
I
like-
like any game that has a pop-o-matic because I like the sound that it makes.
Case, when we go to the shore, we play board games a lot.
Yeah.
I like it. When,
do you know-
when you're not outside and in the evening or whatever, hey, you guys want to play a game? Yeah. So
You know what the one anomaly would be, and it stands in direct contradiction to I will play chess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There are certain people you cannot play games with just because they're way too competitive.
yes.
Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's all
Preston, I just want to let you know that Chuck wants you to do even numbers on this list. He said odd numbers confuse people. So.
Odd numbers confuse people.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care. We're going to go to number 9. Number 9 is socializing. 26% of respondents consider this their favorite leisure activity.
Okay.
Is that big for you, socializing?
Yeah, totally.
You have a whole
I wouldn't
coven.
think. I wouldn't think that as like an activity, though. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
to me,
I agree. I when I think of activities, I think more of like hobbies or
Yeah.
things
Yeah,
that
it's
are
what
more,
you
like
do.
golf, like drumming.
It's like what you do while socializing. You know, like
socializing.
socializing is not an activity. The activity is what you do.
is the board game.
Is what you do to
While you're
socialize.
socializing.
Yeah,
So let me move on to the next one. Number 8 is, and here we go, Kath, arts, crafts, and do-it-yourself projects.
Yeah, there you go. That to me is a hobby.
25% prefer activities like sewing, woodworking, drawing, painting, and other hands-on tasks.
I used to sew. It takes so much time, and I got a job where I was making money, so I was like, I'm going to take my pants over to the dry cleaner and have them
I
do
take
it.
my pants.
No, but I used to like my friend's mom taught us because my mom is not anything like that at all. So my friend's mother taught us how to make blankets, and we made blankets when we were kids. And then I just kind of like took what she taught me, and I wouldn't make things. I would hem because I was always shorter, so I would hem all my clothes. And I used to. Oh, you know who else? Lynn Bruder used to make her own.
Wow, our old boss.
Our old boss. She used to make her own purses, and I remember I was in her office once, and I was like, I love that. And she goes, oh, I made it. And she told me how to make it, and I started making them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do like
I need a pocketbook.
hands-on stuff. Now, here's another, I guess, activity. They're categorizing this. Number 7 is traveling. But this also falls on, they call it a hobby as well as
Okay.
traveling. So
There are traveling
Nick,
enthusiasts.
That would be one of yours.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite activities, but I agree. I don't consider it a hobby, but whatever. I mean, if it's on the list, it's on the list. I can't live life without traveling.
More so hiking. Now,
Sure.
that would be more.
So I will
right? You
travel-
would travel to hike.
To hike.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Okay. Number 6 on this list, hold on, shopping.
Oh my God, yes!
No.
So I would not consider that a hobby.
I'm sorry. Why is your hike a hobby, but my shopping is not? I'm also hiking through the store, Nick.
Shopping is a necessity when you have to go to the grocery store to get bagels.
Do you know what we need to do? We need to do the blindfolded shopping again with Kathy.
Oh, my God.
Send her into the
Yeah, with the newly
Target.
Pacing for prizes.
pacing for prizes.
the newly laid out Target. I could still.
You
get
won
it.
a TV one time.
I could get a TV again
Yeah.
if you wanted.
So 29% say this is their favorite hobby. 30% said this is their favorite hobby, shopping. Number 5, outdoor activities. 30% enjoy being outside, grilling, swimming, hiking, and more. So hiking falls under that too, I guess.
So this thing that my son and I have started doing this week, because he has now found the game of golf, Preston. You've ever heard of that? Golf?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go into how you play the game, but we can't play golf in our neighborhood because, windows. So we found these, the wiffle golf balls, and now we've been playing wiffle golf around the house.
Okay.
And, but I was thinking about this last night, just being outside.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just
I love it.
breathing in that fresh
hiking
air.
outside.
Yeah.
It's such a zen thing.
Yep.
All right. The top 10 favorite activities of Americans. Number 4, video games. 33% escape and unwind by gaming.
So I threw on the Meta, the Oculus. I was playing this Zombieland game, and I mean, it's astonishing how quickly the hours just disappear.
Yes. Yeah. It's pretty much the exclusive activity of my oldest son. That is what he does.
And I mean,
games.
And I can't help if when I spend a lot of time feeling guilty, you know?
Yeah.
But what I try to do is if I'm doing it and I don't get to game anywhere near like I used to game, it sounds like you've taken a jump back in, Preston. If you think about it, if you were to sit there and watch a movie, that'd be about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of the same.
I don't game, but I do play Toon Blast on my phone every single day. And what I hate about that game is that when you open that app up, the clock goes away. So you have no idea what time it is. You know what I mean?
On your phone?
Yeah, on your phone. So it would normally just be right there on my screen, but it disappears into the game.
It's like a casino.
They don't let you see the clock. They hide them. So number 3 on the list, spending time with their pets is some favorite hobby. 35% consider that an activity of some sort.
I like to play board games with my pets.
I'm sure you do. Yeah.
I see. That's not. That's
I don't
just
see
doing
it
what
as
you're
an-
supposed to do
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you own a pet.
Yeah, it's a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a question about my cat we have to get to at some point because it's,
I happen to have a few. If you
well, and I think you might be able to help me.
All right.
Is that another?
Do you want me to ask it?
Another time?
No, because it'll probably be quick. My female cat drools.
Yeah.
Like drips out of her mouth. What the hell is that?
That is quite common. That
is so hot.
Yeah, and
No, it's disgusting.
That means she's very relaxed. Is it like when you're petting her? Yes.
Yeah, she just wants to like snuggle, but
It's part of the deal. Sometimes it ebbs and flows, no pun intended. So you might get times where it's happening more for a period, and then it'll ease back.
yeah, like
But that
dripped on
that's common.
on me the other day.
You could. Has she had her teeth looked at recently?
No.
She drooled on Might be worth. Yeah.
Nick, she's like she does the
Like drip, right?
Yeah, like she tries to snuggle all in, right? She gets all nice and comfy. I'm petting her, and like Jace will tell me, he's like, she's drooling, it's gonna drip on you.
And how do you react to that when that happens?
I mean, Jace is worse than me. He freaks out. He thinks it's the most disgusting thing ever. I don't find
Where does
it
he get
lovely.
that from?
I don't
Where
know.
does he get
I don't
that?
know. I don't love it, but
You tolerate it.
You love the
well,
cat.
no, I will get up and wipe it off. That's what she gets when my cat drools on me.
I hate it. So the other 2 left on this list. Number 2, this is the second highest ranked in Americans' favorite activities. Reading.
Reading is stupid. It's for nerds.
Oh, there's no case. There's a TikTok video out. I was dying when I saw it. It's like a woman laying on the couch under a blanket reading. And like the caption says, you look at her and you think, wow, she's so intelligent. She reads. And then they give like an excerpt from the book and it's like very overtly sexual.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what we're reading.
Anything could be going on in that book.
My wife
You
is
don't
a
know.
voracious reader. I read and do a lot for show prep. And then I also, but for me, again, the thing that we found the release in is the Audible books.
Yes.
Which allows me to get to things I was morally opposed to Audible books. And I'm like, I love it now.
Listen,
it's relaxing. I find it relaxing.
I'm jealous of readers. The same way I'm jealous of people who are very pious and religious, and I'm like, I can't get there. And I've tried to read, and I know how to read.
Audible books?
I've done audiobooks, but the problem with the audiobooks is my attention span. So the book has to be the right book. So like Project Hail Mary, Preston, I was able to listen to that a couple of different times.
Okay.
Because it was just so compelling. Otherwise, I'm like, oh crap! I don't even know when I tuned out. Was it 5 minutes ago? 10 minutes ago?
Well, you're so busy scratching your face that you don't have time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're connected. You know, if you were able to find a way to read books that would be soothing to you, it might help you not have resting itch face. You know,
Yeah.
I'm reading a book that we had the author on last year. It's Bob Ballard, the guy that discovered the Titanic, and the reason we had him on was to promote this book called Into the Deep. It's his autobiography. I highly recommend it. He talks about his dyslexia, and it's about his life, but it's also about methods of learning and how people learn throughout their lives. And the dude's a genius, but he has dyslexia, so he learned it differently, and he was a quote unquote failed student for a long stretch of time. So if you're looking for a new book, I recommend that one highly.
All right. And then the last thing on this particular survey, as we're in survey, says number one activity in America, according to the research, is cooking and baking. That's what people like to do as an activity.
Huh. Okay. So that's obviously, I know people who do love it.
I'm out on that one.
My youngest is getting in. This is the summer of baking. It is not the summer of cleaning up after herself.
My
but
youngest is as well.
Okay, so she's making cakes and cupcakes, and I love that. She made pumpkin bread the other day.
Yeah. So I do appreciate and enjoy cooking, and I would like to do more of it. So I can see that as one of the favorite hobbies and activities. So
it's a somewhat surprising list, especially in what they consider hobbies.
Real quick before we move on to the next survey, Brittany's cat drools. So let me go over. Hi, Brittany.
Good morning.
You have a drooling cat?
Yeah, so my cat does it all the time, and she is the type of cat that, wants to get as close as possible to you. Yep. Like, she would climb inside of me, probably, if she could.
Film that. You can sell it on Pornhub. Go ahead.
She got very close to my face, and I did not realize she was drooling, and it went right into my mouth.
So Brittany, my cat Lily, who is on me like white on rice, if I lay back, she'll get up on my chest and stand up and look down at my face and be purring, and I have to be careful because I'll have the exact same. She's not always drooling. Brittany, is your cat always drooling when you're petting her?
No, it's only sometimes.
All right.
But she's exactly your description of your cat. That's how my cat is. Like, just super lovey, wants to be as close to me as possible, and she's the drooler.
He's a cat.
All right, well, hang in there, Brittany, and
keep your mouth shut.
Keep your mouth closed. All right, survey says according to a new survey from Lending Tree, nearly a quarter of American adults have shoplifted.
Oh, wait, as an adult?
As an adult, and about 1 in 20 have done it within the last year.
Like on purpose?
My last shoplifting?
Yeah, last five-finger discount.
So maybe something like at a restaurant. If I took they had like a glass or something that.
Right. And that's kind of, that's shoplifting. I mean, it's not like the mints are free, but the silverware and
classic shoplifting, like in a department store, and took something that was young
I was I was probably 19, 20 years old.
I think I mentioned this before to you guys. So I know somebody who has a lot of money and still will occasionally throw something under their cart at Target and know that they'll be able to get it by the cashier.
We've talked about this. Winona Ryder. You know,
but they push it out, Kathy? They put it in the cart and then
they push it out themselves, and I don't know. I don't understand.
I think the last thing I took, and this technically isn't shoplifting, I don't think, but I had somebody had me as a guest at a country club to play golf, and they have these spots called the halfway house, where you can pop in and grab snacks and things like that. Well, they also had cigar cutters there.
Okay.
I'm taking that.
You took a cigar cutter?
Yeah, they're a little plastic thing, right?
Yeah,
they're for members, right?
They write that into.
I'm not a member, but
come out with your hands up.
I took that. That's probably the last thing I was like, can I? Sure, I can.
Wait a second. There were 20 cigar cutters here.
I wonder if restaurants write into their, just their budget every year that they're going to have this many stolen, knives taken out of fancy steak shops and whatever.
Well, I bet you the glasses are
the glasses, especially the one. And I think a lot of times, Kathy, they anticipate. Like in my case, I saw a couple other people taking these little shot glasses that were just,
they're free.
I actually felt a little bit proud of myself when you asked that question, and the survey says, because I was expecting to be like, oh, yeah, last year I stole, And I'm like, hang on a second. It's been a little while since I broke that deadly sin.
Yeah, I mean, that's good since you stole from the donation basket in church. So you probably should never steal again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marissa?
I've made my penance for that, Kathy. I said 10 Hail Marys, so we're good.
You also took a walk, man.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stick up for those small businesses. Please buy those glasses because they're probably available to purchase.
Right. Yeah,
Please
right.
don't steal them from small restaurants and breweries and such.
We were at my buddy's daughter, big fan of Silver Linings Playbook, and we went to the Lanark Diner because they have dinner there, and she wanted a coffee mug. And so it turns out you could buy them.
Okay.
If you ask, or at least I said, hey, she really wants this.
How much do
as
they
a keepsake.
$50?
Yeah,
Take it.
Yeah. But I was like, can we buy one of these? And they were like, let me ask. And they were like, yeah. Or maybe they just gave it to us. I don't remember.
Was the name embossed on the mug?
Yeah, I think it said the name of the Lanark Diner.
So we were at Blue Pig, right, in Cape May, and they had these napkins that were great, and they matched the decor of my friend
people
Leanne's
called
house.
in about the napkins.
Yeah, so the napkins are really, and so I went to the host and I said, listen, I'm like,
I'm on the radio.
I'm going to.
These are free, right?
No, I said the woman over at my table is going to steal one or two of these. Can you just give them to us so we don't have to steal? And they did. They gave us two.
Wow.
They were like, yeah, sure.
I guess most time if you ask, maybe they'll either let you or they'll let you purchase.
Is all this money in this drawer, is this for everyone?
Does this belong? Who does this belong to? I don't see any names on it. Well, this one says.
2,000 adults were surveyed, and more than half of those who have shoplifted were older than 16 when they did it, 53%. Shoplifters tend to hide items on their bodies. 55% said they did that. 36% said in their purse or bags. But 25% have just walked out of the store with whatever it is they're stealing just in plain view, thinking that it looks obvious and,
We see the video footage of people just going in with like carts and full bags and garbage bags and just clearing the shelves.
Dude, there was somebody who I know, my family knows that got busted full shopping grocery cart.
Really?
Full of groceries, just walked right on out. Just walked on out.
And they got busted?
Might have been more than once.
Wow.
They got busted, though?
Yeah, they got busted.
And what happened? Did the cops show up? Or?
I think there were police involved. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I recently saw footage of someone stealing, and I have to say I'm a little proud. They were stealing a Kathy Romano collection necklace.
Really?
Wow.
From where? What store?
You've hit shoplifting status.
I've hit shoplifting status, guys.
Wow.
Just one item, like a necklace?
It was a necklace, and the owner of the store
Caught it on video?
Caught it on video, and she called the lady out. She posted it on social media and was like, we know you stole this. We know who you are. Return it.
Okay.
And sure enough, the woman returned it.
What was the retail value of that piece of merchandise?
Oh, it was like $63. Like,
my
God.
goodness.
What was the woman's name who stole it?
I don't know who she was, Case. It was down the shore. I don't know.
Does she run a chocolate shop in Wayne?
So here's a question that was posed as well. Why do they do it? Okay, so the respondents, and nearly all, 90% of recent shoplifters said they steal because of inflation and the current economy. A third shoplift because they can't afford the prices. 30% do it to help make ends meet, and 27% said they steal to save a few bucks.
You know what? I when you were mentioning this and I was thinking about it, I saw a news story about senior citizens end up committing a lot of those on a fixed budget, or
or do they just not care anymore?
Well, also a lot of times they're whether it be for planning or whatever, they're trying to make ends meet on their budgets, and they end up stealing.
I wonder.
So never trust a senior citizen.
No, ever. How many people steal to resell? Right. So you said stealing to make money or to save money.
I know, it's emotional,
Give
man.
him a
It's okay.
Preston.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all friends.
Can you hug him?
This is pissing me off. It's right in the back of my throat. I can feel
Can
it.
I jump in while you're clearing your throat and
Yeah,
say,
go ahead.
to that point, Case, that is a huge thing. In fact, there was a woman, you had the story about it, Preston, who lived in like a $2.5 million home. I think it was out in California.
Yeah.
And she had basically a Costco in her home reselling stolen items.
Yeah.
Wait, I have breaking news. This just in.
Well, hang on a
hold on.
second.
Okay.
I got you, baby.
Breaking news.
Okay.
2 more Kathy Romano collection necklaces stolen from Sycamore Stone Farm, Jeff Devlin's farm.
Yeah. What?
He said he carries them too, and he said we had 2 stolen.
Wow.
Man,
That
That means they're
popular, guys.
desirable.
Yeah, Kathy, are they stealing the same? Is this one item in particular? Because that's an idea of what's hot in the collection.
I
Does
don't
that
know
affect
if
you
it's-
at all, or does that only affect him?
No,
Guess who's stealing
Jeff's
my,
out the money.
Guess who's stealing my product line?
He bought it from you, so now he's selling it. Right?
Guess who's the object of thieves?
It is a good marketing approach.
Yeah.
You know, so good. People
steal it.
Stealable necklaces.
Well, let me ask you, is this stealing? When the Flyers had their outdoor game at Citizens Bank Park, because of Dr. Mike, I was invited into Ed Snyder's suite to watch some of the game.
I took one too.
You took a wine glass?
A glass, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. But
So,
it said
yes,
Winter
I think-
Classic on it.
Yeah.
Like it's a winter, you know.
Isn't that a giveaway?
I feel like it was. I feel like
yeah.
Listen, I was at a Best Buy and they had this plasma TV years ago.
Yeah.
It seemed like a giveaway.
You know what I will say though? Some people, someone stole from my parents before, and when they called them out on it, and it was like something so stupid. But when my mom called this woman out on it, she was like, "Well, you can buy another one."
What?
Like they viewed it as I can't afford it. You can. So it was almost they tried to like
I'm
just
putting that money towards a gun.
Yeah, was it high priced item?
No, it was so. It was a bedspread that was folded and put like in a closet, and they took the bedspread. And so like my mom said, had she asked and been like, I don't have a bedspread like on my bed. Do you have an extra one? My mom would have given it to her.
Yeah.
That's a world of difference.
But anyway, you bring up the flyer stuff and all that, and you're like, oh well, they're a huge organization.
Right.
They have the money, but it's just It depends on what it is.
It's the wrong way to think about it.
It's the wrong way to
because
think about
ultimately
it.
somebody's going to end up,
paying for it. Yeah.
paying for it.
Shoplifters are more likely to steal from big chain stores than small mom and pop shops. 52% said they stole from the big chains, and only 28% said they did the mom and
Wow,
pop
that shows
shops.
you how highly prized the Kathy Romano collection is. It's being stolen from small boutique stores.
Exactly.
They say it's easiest to get away with it in grocery stores.
They have secret shoppers in those in grocery stores.
Do they?
People, yeah. People are walking around looking like they're shopping, but they're
dressed
actually
like shopping carts.
They're detectives.
I was in a grocery store yesterday, Casey, and there was a person wearing a vest that said like theft protection or something along those lines.
Prevention,
Clearly identifying themselves as a way to hopefully intimidate people from shoplifting.
Nick, I've noticed more and more, especially like at one of the CVSs that I go to.
Yeah.
It's like so much stuff now is behind a locked.
Yeah, that's nationwide.
It's annoying as F.
That started in Walgreens in San Francisco a few years ago, Steve, and it was just because the people were just going into the Walgreens and taking stuff and walking the F out.
Well, part of the reason Target took away their self-checkout was
because of that?
Was
Walking
theft.
right
I mean,
out.
there was other reasons, but theft was one that they listed.
Easier in that.
Yeah.
Let me go. Brad was in loss prevention for years. Hi, Brad. You're on the air, bud.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good, man. So you worked in loss prevention?
Yeah, for quite a number of years. And it was in grocery, actually. And one thing that applied to just about everyone was that 90% of the people who stole could pay for the things. It didn't really matter. It's just sometimes I guess it was something that they had going on. I don't know. But it was literally anybody. It was little old ladies who had tons of money and could have bought whatever they wanted. And it was everything from kids whose parents would get angry because they're like, oh, I would have bought it for you. But it knew no boundaries.
What was the degree? Because I've heard this. Like they'll talk about examining theft, like in Manhattan. I forget. I think that's where this data came from. But that a lot of times it is the same group of people that are responsible for the predominant amount of theft. Was that what you would find, Brad?
Oh, yeah. So there was a huge amount of organized retail crime. So it would basically be whether it was one person or groups of people, and they'd target specific items because they knew places that would buy the product from them. So whether it was Tide or baby formula, they'd go try to wipe the shelf, just walk in and out and make a few quick bucks.
Yeah, it's weird because I saw they showed footage of people going in, a crew going into an Ulta Cosmetics and they had Preston. They had a formation that they adopted, and they had all this stuff set in place to distract the salespeople on the floor, and they were just
it's like
emptying the
Ocean's
shelves.
11.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on? Because I just saw this reel yesterday. There's a
Thanks,
guy.
Brad.
There's a guy who tries to go to all the hotels in the area where they have free continental breakfast, and he's not staying at said hotel, and he'll just go into the hotel
That's got to
lobby.
be so easy, right?
It's got to be so. Nobody's paying attention.
Is that just?
When was the last time you saw? The whole idea of it is that you just go and grab. The only thing you can do is they keep the the yogurts locked till 6 a.m.
So that's basically just resourcefulness, right?
Yeah.
Like
I was
for
going
free.
to ask because
It's
when I
the
watched
same
this
way.
video,
It's the same way the local parks will provide Christmas trees if you want them.
as I was watching this video, and please don't be offended, I thought, I bet you Nick has done this.
No,
never.
Well, no, but I will book hotels based on whether or not they have those because I think they're great. The not residence in.
Hamptons?
No. It's a Marriott chain. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They offer them up. I love staying at those hotels because they're really good breakfast.
Yeah.
And it kind of like saves you for the day. And by the way, when you have like the bagels there and the little peanut butter containers, there's your lunch. You can put that in the bag.
He leaves with part of the buffet.
You've already paid for it, Kathy, because you're buying the room.
Can I borrow a few sternos?
Okay. You know what I have stopped doing entirely because I've been shamed out of it is taking stuff from the hotel room. Like I can't the little soaps and the shampoos.
They had two beds.
They're there for you.
Yeah, but they get thrown out.
Yeah. You're actually paying for those.
Yeah.
Right.
You can. Those
paying
are
for the
yours.
bagels.
You can have them.
What about saltines at Wawa?
I think I stopped that too, but that's only because I don't like saltines as much
Wait,
as
but
I
you
used
don't
to.
have to pay for them, do you?
No.
No, they're free.
Oh, so you would just take as many.
Casey, what was the hack that your friend used to do in college at Wawa?
Oh, that was me. It was my own hack.
I forget where I was, but it was at some place, and I remember thinking the word outlandish came to mind because there was a whole array of condiments, and this guy just scooped out everything.
Yeah.
All the condiment packets and everything, and just put it in his own bag. He clearly came there to rob all the condiments.
Wait, what was your hack that Nick referred to?
It was the 30-cent hoagie.
Okay.
All right? So you buy the shorty roll.
Yeah.
And this was back in the day when they actually used to have like slicers behind the counter.
Yeah.
All right. So you buy the one roll, and then you buy one slice of cheese. And I was vegetarian at the time too. So, and then you just say, hey, can you put the fillings on there? Because a shorty costs $5 whether you get lettuce on it or not. So clearly the lettuce and the pickles and the onions and the tomatoes don't cost any money.
So you would just buy a cheese sandwich and then ask them to add the...
No, I wouldn't buy a cheese sandwich. I would buy a piece of bread, a piece of cheese, and then have them put the lettuce. And this guy, Andy.
Wait, that was cheaper than asking for a hoagie? A
Yeah,
cheese
hoagie was $3.
Would they ever
This was-
refuse?
No.
This was
no.
legitimately 30 cents?
Legitimately 30 cents.
I think that's resourcefulness.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
just pieced it
That's
together.
working the system.
That is.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on real quick, one call, and then we're going to move on to another survey because we're doing Survey Says. Vince, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yo, ever heard of jerk meat?
It rings a bell, I think, but no, your friend.
Yo, ever heard of jerkmate?
He steals breakfast every morning.
Yeah, so I recently got a new job, and I was training, and I went into Wawa with him, and of course, we were both on the road, and we go to the bathroom and all, and I come out, and I'm grabbing stuff. I see him getting coffee, and I'm going to check out, and he's already back in the truck. And I'm like, what the heck's going on? And then we stop later, and the same thing. Grabs coffee, grabs hash browns. I think his motto is Wawa is walk away with anything.
Oh, my God.
A couple of people were texting in with that Wawa stands for walk away with anything.
Wow.
He better be careful though, because if he's doing it every day at the same Wawa, eventually they're going to get him.
And then he's gonna be banned from the Wawa.
Yeah.
And you do not want that.
No. Wow. All right. Thank you, Vince. Appreciate it. Well, shoplifters, by the way, they say the most commonly stolen items are food and non-alcoholic drinks. 45%, clothing, accessories, or jewelry at 39%, and makeup or cosmetics.
Makeup, expensive and small.
Yep. And 21% say that. So those are
But the Kathy Romano collection is affordable.
Yeah. It is affordable. There's no need to steal it.
some stats on shoplifting. All right. Survey says we move on to another one here for you. So I think it was last week was National Lazy Day. or whatever, these national days. But that prompted a survey, and apparently, according to this new survey, they asked what goes into the perfect do-nothing day. It was a poll of 2,000 adults found that Americans need to take 60 lazy days a year on average to feel rested and relaxed.
Maybe that's why I'm always tired.
Yeah.
Some folks take their lazy days very seriously. 21% plan theirs in advance, sometimes putting them on the calendar weeks ahead of time. 11% of them do that, while 67% take theirs spontaneously.
I think more often than not, I have to plan mine. I think, and I was thinking about this, what goes into, for me, making a lazy day, like during the summer would be if it was raining, like on a Saturday, because then yard work is off. The things, you know what I'm saying? So so things that you could be doing, and then you could classically veg and watch a movie and be classically lazy.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. What is that? What it is just like sitting around doing nothing?
Here you go. Here's what the average American spends a typical lazy day doing. Lying in bed for 2 hours.
Shoplifting jewelry.
1 hour eating. 3 hours binge watching movies and shows. An hour reading. 2 hours scrolling. And 3 hours doing literally nothing. 2 hours napping. And another hour dedicated to dreading the next day.
I'm asking this seriously. Would you put jacking it in the...
As lazy?
As lazy.
Now, that takes some work.
You're burning
there's nothing,
calories.
There's nothing lazy
If it shows up on your Fitbit, it's work.
I got sweaty.
I can't tell you the last time I did that. I mean, unless I was sick.
All right. So what about?
And I had to.
Kath, what if you schedule like a spa day for yourself? Like
Yeah, but is that's what I was wondering. Like sitting in the house doing nothing
in clothes where you haven't even taken a shower and you're
no. Because Nick, if I'm at the house, something can be organized or cleaned up or whatever. So a spa day, I've done that before.
What if you're talk about a completely lazy day where you don't even wash, you just use your cat's drool to clean your face. And
stop.
And but I mean that's sort of that's like I think lazy. Like when people say I never even got out of my pajamas or whatever, that's a lazy day, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's a definition of a lazy day. I made it a point while we were on vacation on a few occasions to just literally sit there with my thoughts. And that's it.
Good for you.
No TV, no stimuli, maybe some music on in the background, but just kind of either looking outside.
Why do I think Nick is so hot?
And I find that to be very therapeutic.
Absolutely.
I love the notion of going out and sitting in the. So I'll sit outside sometimes in the fall in the sun, and just think.
Yeah.
I like to do
and
that.
Just think.
And then I go, I probably should put clothes on.
Steve, I was thinking about your description like a fall or a summer day where it's rainy and you can't do the yard. Or in the wintertime, when we're on our winter break in between Christmas and New Year's, if there's a day where there's nothing going on and you don't have to go anywhere and you've done all your holiday shopping, like to me, that is a perfect lazy day, especially like if it snows a little bit and you don't got to go outside at all. I don't know. It's the best.
I love that. So during the 2 weeks off, I took care of a lot of stuff. And not that I was being lazy, so I was being very active, but clearing stuff off your plate, like the garage, clearing out stuff like that preps you for your eventual lazy days.
Yeah.
I got my eyes dilated yesterday and I couldn't, I can't look at my phone. I couldn't watch TV. It gives me like a massive headache. And I was sitting there and like, I felt my phone vibrate and I picked it up. I'm like, nope, can't read it. I had to put it back down. Like there was nothing.
Could you find the wine bottles?
I could still. I knew where the wine was and the glasses.
No, I felt like
an inspiring story.
like Rochelle scrolls a lot, and I understand that's entertainment for some people, and maybe some news gathering or whatever, just finding out what's going on in the world. But I haven't said it to her yet, but I almost feel like let's just sit here and do nothing. We can talk, or something like that. But
oh my God, I don't like you. Thank you.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Start scrolling again.
You gave me clarity. Claire does that as well. She's hardcore.
Yeah.
I try to occasionally. I'll do it. I'll try to refrain from it. All the things I said I wouldn't do. But you see an object lesson in how seductive this stuff is designed to be.
And in fact, sometimes it takes a little effort to go, don't do that.
Can't do it. Don't do it. I mean? Put it down.
And it's a good thing.
Go look at porn.
There's a lot of scrolling involved in that, too. So anyhow, people know that it's time for a lazy day when their mood and energy are low. They feel burnt out or overwhelmed by responsibilities. And a third of the survey said they take one if they want to avoid people.
So perfect lazy days would be like in the winter if there's a snowstorm and when it's snowing in the height of the snow.
3/4 of the respondents say that they're more likely to lounge all day if the weather is cool and gloomy.
There you go.
So that's
right.
It lends itself
That's
to
exactly what I was just saying.
that. Yep. Okay. Is that all we have time for?
Yeah, that's it, man.
That's all we have time for. We got to wrap up the surveys, friends. Wait.
Where's my buzzer? I thought I had a buzzer. Doesn't matter. Here it is.
Okay. Fair enough. But sharing some survey information with you on the program, we do that from time to time. Want to take a break, and there it is. Thank you. I knew we had that somewhere. Want to take a break and come back in just a moment because we will get into the bizarre file when we return. Stay with us.
Oh, no way.
You can see little pubic hairs on them, right?
I would think they're bad.
And little bits of or raspberry often end up stuck in your teeth, Chuck. You're not going
These
to
look dirty or
No,
something.
it's actually good.
Try just a tiny,
one.
Yeah, I just ate one. Yeah, go
tiny
ahead.
little bit of one.
Just like a small
By
bite.
the way,
No, put the whole thing in your mouth.
By the way,
Put it all-
raspberries with chocolate, fantastic.
All right, listen. I'm earning my pay here.
Yeah, you are.
I mean,
come on.
All right.
I don't think you're going to like it, but go for it. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, it's in his mouth.
That is disgusting.
All right.
They're going to spit it out?
He spit it out.
Raspberry earns the distinction of the first
I don't know, what
fruits
is that?
being spat out.
That's terrible.
Wait, we didn't do blackberries yet. Do you want to do a blackberry?
So is it better, worse than raspberry? See,
You're not going
You're
to like
not
it
going to like it because of the texture.
similar
because
to
of the
red.
seeds.
Yeah.
Go.
Just to say you've tried one, okay? Yeah. That's why we're doing this. We're not expecting you to like everything.
We don't even understand.
Tried it.
Preston, you would agree. We don't even understand why we're so fascinated with this. But it's to just never have tried one.
What do you think?
terrible.
Yeah. All right.
He's like a 5-year-old kid.
But now you know.
He's spitting it out. He's spitting it out.
Now you know.
So raspberry and blackberry he hates.
All right. Casey wants you to try grapefruit.
Here's the thing, though. I think he should do the kiwi first
We're
because the
gonna
grapefruit is so flavorful and citrusy.
It doesn't matter.
No?
If he cleanses the palate.
All right, go ahead.
Casey's been biting at the
Isn't
bit.
grapefruit like dangerous?
No.
If it has a hand grenade attached
There's
to
like
it.
medical commercials that tell you if you're eating grapefruit and you can't take
No,
this medicine.
if
How do
you're
you eat
eating
that?
Yeah.
You can eat it like an orange. It's an appetite suppressant.
Excuse me.
I was eating lots of them
Sorry.
before the prostate cancer. So
right before.
You're terrible.
Grapefruit. All right, go for it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Both of them sucking on a grapefruit. Chuck's waiting for Casey to do it first. Go ahead, Chuck. I don't care for grapefruit unless it's got sugar on it. Yeah, right? Yeah, Chuck doesn't like that at all.
I knew it.
Like
He looked like a kid that had had lemon in his mouth for the first
I've never
time.
liked grapefruit, and I agree with you, Preston.
Throw it
It's
away.
only good if you have sugar on it.
Oh, that's terrible.
Isn't that nasty? And people eat them like crazy.
I know. All right.
I hate you.
What's up next?
You're going to need to wash your mouth out.
Yeah,
That's terrible. Oh,
Have some cantaloupe. You like
take,
that.
Take some water right there.
Have a bite of cantaloupe. That actually would be a good cleanser.
Yeah, it is.
Ugh, that's terrible.
All right, so we're going to do the kiwi next, and then we're going to do red grapes.
Kiwi. Here we go.
Here it is. Pop it in. Should be very tender.
Very
Like a love song.
All right.
the bits in it, man.
So you have a thing with the bits.
The taste is okay. Strong, very strong.
Yeah.
All right.
But those little crunchies, you don't like.
You actually.
It's like Jimmy's on ice cream or something.
Will you eat something with poppy seeds on it?
Yeah, everything bagel
Or sesame seeds and stuff like
sesame
that?
seeds I like. Yeah.
Think of it like that. You know? I mean, these seeds don't really have any flavor. They're just part of the texture.
I could think it's filet mignon, but it's still bitty and crunchy in my
Well, let me
teeth.
ask. Let me
Like
ask
an
you
everything
this.
bagel.
Would you eat popped white heads off someone's
Everything.
scrotum?
Grapes and then pineapple.
Hold on.
Red grapes. He's had green grapes.
Okay. Grape. Yep.
Okay.
Grape.
Red grape.
Seedless?
Should be.
Good.
Yeah, right? Good. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Bonus.
Have another one.
Thumbs up. All right. He's having
another one.
How about that? That's going to be your latest snack food.
Accepting red grapes. The pineapples that I used to have all the time, Chuck, were from a can when I was growing up, and I hated them. Once I had fresh pineapple, the world opened up to me.
This is the sweetest fruit that you could possibly try.
All right.
It is so good. Love pineapple. First time ever trying it. Very juicy. It's running down his... What do you think of that, Chuck?
Beard.
Come on, man.
That's good. Real good.
Yeah, isn't that real good? Yeah, it's okay. You've been letting these things get by you in life.
All right.
Never, ever had pineapple before. Fantastic. And he likes it.
And
Like
never
it a
had the
lot.
canned. You always have to have fresh because the can, they put a syrup in it that just F's it up. Natural, fresh pineapple is glorious. All right.
Really good. You changed
So,
my life.
In summation, cantaloupe, pineapple, grapes, mango, you liked.
Cucumber was good.
Cucumber was good. These are things he's never, ever, ever had before.
Right, and I was right the whole time about the bits in the hair.
Bits in hair, F you
That's
up.
his thing.
So he doesn't like berries. And that's pretty much it. Berry and kiwi.
And kiwi.
Yeah. Oh, nice job.
USA! USA! USA!
Lindsay, we haven't talked about her in a while.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan is on the verge of turning 30.
30. 30, right?
Yep. Can you imagine waking up, no makeup, it's kind of actually smeared makeup, hair, all kind of crazy. Ha!
Where are my cigarettes?
But she's reflecting back on her past mistakes as well as looking ahead to the future. She discusses her ambitions and failures in a new interview with Vanity Fair. She says of her...
Life is like a chicken finger. Chicken in the center, surrounded by finger.
Life is like
How
that?
is that like
exactly.
life?
How is life like that?
Exactly
It just
like
is. She says...
Point taken.
Of her checkered past, I wouldn't call things regrets per se. I can't turn back time, but if I could, I would have listened more to my mother and gone back home to New York earlier in life and chosen my friends more wisely.
Regrets? I've had a few, but still too few to mention.
Lindsay also, but you did it your way.
I did it my way.
Yeah.
To me, life, if I may, was like a huge chicken finger.
All right, Lindsay also looks ahead to her
With multiple dipping sauces.
to her milestone birthday on July 2nd, saying, age is only a number, right?
No.
No. I have learned a lot over time. I'm in a wonderful place in life and look forward to the near and far future and projects that I'm working on.
Something's going on with Lindsay's face these days. It looks as if she's perpetually smelling poop.
That's the way I feel. I'm sorry to go off on a tangent, but about Cersei Lannister on Game of Thrones. Her nostrils are always kind of flared, and the corners of her lips are kind of up a little bit. Like,
did someone defecate? Someone. Everyone, check your trousers.
Eyes open wide, nostrils flared. All right. Anyhow,
the distinct odor of fecal matter.
She said that I'm grateful that I have a voice which I can now feel comfortable using as a platform to let people know that we all have our ups and downs in life.
Check your trousers.
And we can all come up from the downs if we get in touch with our inner self and spiritual side.
Hey, I'm happy if she's turned it around. She's got that Russian boyfriend, right? The multimillionaire boyfriend?
Yeah, Igor Tarabazov. And that's what? Stravinsky.
This is my woman.
She also
loves chicken fingers.
She also says of her future plans of making more films, writing my books, starting my charity, working with children a lot, maybe having some of my own soon after I get some movies done first. She seems to be course corrected and getting her life together. I don't know what that means as far as her career goes, though.
I don't think it's going to be where it could have been, but maybe that's the best thing for her. Maybe getting back into that lifestyle would be detrimental.
Yeah. She could pull a Robert Downey Jr.
She could play Iron Man.
I don't know if she could play Iron Man, but
I can't get the chicken fingers to this opening. We got it. There's an 800-pound gorilla in the room. How do I get chicken fingers through this thing?
Tell Jarvis to open the hatch. And it will. And
You're a disaster.
The face mask will actually.
Jarvis closes and I sell chicken fingers.
Will open, and then you can eat your chicken fingers.
There's a Popeyes on Route 1.
Maybe a little underdone. Let me kick him up a little bit. Just like I like him.
You're heating them up.
Let me get that for you. They're a little cold. Just like I like him.
No, what I'm saying is she might be able to turn her acting career around. She's not as talented as Robert. Even when Robert Downey Jr. was younger, even in those like Weird Science and Back to School, stuff like that, you could tell he had acting chops. So.
It's hard for her though because she really the party lifestyle left a mark on her appearance, and it's harder for women in general. And then when they mess up their appearance like she has over the last 10 years or so, it's going to be an interesting thing to see where she goes next.
Nick, I clearly remember we did it. We did a Dirty Old Man screening of Mean Girls.
Yep.
Well, that's what we called it. We had us, a whole bunch of guys.
We called it the Dirty Old Man Matinee. And we went to a matinee showing of took a bunch of guys to a matinee showing of
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls when she turned 18. Oh my God.
How pathetic.
Hey, Lindsay, can you warm up this burrito for me here?
No problem. Stand back. Jarvis, hit it.
Hikaru Sulu.
Yes.
Is revealed to be gay in the upcoming Star Trek Beyond movie. Sulu never had any romantic partners on the original series, but it was eventually revealed that he did have a daughter who was a character in the 1994 movie Star Trek Generations.
And Spock's going to be a plushie, Preston.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you need to do something to that guy.
I find it very comforting around my testicles to feel the soft, stuffed quality.
It is a logical sensation.
Yes. It arouses me in a very primal way. The Ponfar is kicked in. I must return to my home planet and bang a teddy bear.
They should give everyone something. Everyone should have something, right?
I agree. I mean, after
Dr.
all,
McCoy's into hot Carls.
I mean, Kirk's a total perv. He'll bang anything.
Listen, after all,
Kirk is crawling with disease.
The show itself was meant to show diversity in the future.
Gene Roddenberry's saying infinite diversity and infinite combinations.
Yeah, all across. And then eventually when it got to the next generation, it got outside of the United States. It got out, diversity in different alien species and so forth with, Worf on the deck and so forth.
What you dip your wick in, as they say.
God, what would Worf do? What would his perversion
be? This is going to be good. Here, put the saran wrap over your face.
He's the hot Carl fanatic. God, imagine what would come out of that.
Klingon hot Carl?
Oh, my God.
Forget it.
It'd be corrosive.
Oh, my God. It'd be like
burn through your skin.
Like the blood in Alien.
A hot Worf.
Yeah, a hot Worf.
By the way, I think I can safely say that the words Klingon hot Carl have never been said by anyone in humanity before.
I'm sorry. It melted your face. Captain, may I speak with you for a second? What is it, Wolf? I just did a Klingon sexual act and melted my partner's face. How many times have I warned you about the hot Carl?
Hot Worf.
It was not meant for your species.
Oh, my God.
There is no saran wrap that contained my fecal matter.
Woo!
But in the long run, though, I think this is it's a great way to pay tribute to
George Takei.
George Takei, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's the first LGBT character to be introduced to the franchise in the 50 years that it has been around.
Mr. Wolf, you must stop doing that. You almost breached the outer hull of the ship. We were able to freeze your fecal matter before it hit the retaining wall.
Set shields to maximum. Oh, my God.
Can't contain it, sir. It's another hot cattle. Of course, I'm mixing crews here.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. Oh, we'll do the bizarre file right now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
A few different animal stories that have made their way into the bizarre file today. And this is one of those. A motorist who bumped a lion with his vehicle over the weekend, seemingly to clear the animal from a road in South Africa's Kruger National Park, has apparently been disciplined for it. A day earlier, after viewing the accompanying footage, Sean Parks promised the incident would be dealt with at the highest level. The agency, however, has not provided details about the individual or possible disciplinary measures. Well, the footage shared by Lion Lovers, a group, shows the seemingly impatient motorist rolling into the startled lion from behind. I mean, he just kind of nudged him with the car, but you're not supposed to do that. They're in the road. You just got to wait until they move along.
I've seen countless pictures and videos of entire lengths, like cars backed up, and they will not do anything. They're going to let the lion do what the lion's going to do. It's part of the rules.
Yeah, the vehicle's license plate is visible in the footage, and several in the comments thread demanded that the motorist be banned from the park. The incident occurred during a traffic jam caused by lions lounging on a highway. Lion jams typically attract tourists eager to view and photograph the animals, but most do so respectfully.
By the way, it's like Boner Jam's case.
Boner Jams.
Lion Jams and
Wait,
Boner
what is
Jams.
Boner Jams?
It's from 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh, the video. Yes.
Boner
And Everybody Loves Raymond just ends up in there. That's just a good show.
That's great.
Boner Jams 4.
Here's a great story. An ancient sarcophagus dating back to the Roman era was discovered on a beach, and it had been being used as a bar at a Black Sea resort near Varna.
So an ancient relic.
Yeah. And they were using it as a bar.
Wow.
Following its discovery, archaeologists from the Regional History Museum in Varna examined the ancient artifact, identifying its rich ornaments as part of the garland sarcophagi from Roman times.
He's a sarcophagi.
The sarcophagus is made from Shelly limestone, characteristic of northwestern Bulgaria. It features intricate relief decorations on all four sides, including garlands, animal heads, rosettes, and a labrys.
Yes, and Sanskrit that basically translates to D's nuts.
It's a bar. People are going to scribble on it. Despite its historical value, photos on social media revealed that the sarcophagus was being used as a bar at a popular beach club for some time.
That's pretty wild. We're looking at it. It's pretty amazing looking.
Yeah, it is. All archaeological artifacts legally belong to the state, regardless of where or how they were found. The discovery came to light when a former police officer noticed the sarcophagus on the beach while on holiday and reported it to the local authorities. But It's amazing what great shape it's in after all those years.
And those are commonly used for funerary.
That's what I know a sarcophagus to be for.
Yeah.
A man who spent years of his life working to combat gun violence in Colorado shot a 28-year-old man in the head on Saturday.
Okay.
As attendees of a child's birthday party watched in horror.
Come on.
The fatal shooting came nearly a year after the death of the suspected shooter's son. So his name is Lumumba Sayers. He remains in the Adams County Detention Facility facing first-degree murder and felony menacing charges.
So his own son was shot?
Yeah, so here's the deal. There's a pseudo-explanation for this. Sayers was an MMA fighter and founded Aurora's Heavy Hands, Heavy Hearts Foundation. Sayers' son, Lumumba Sayers Jr., was shot and killed in August of last year. Saturday's shooting happened during a pool party for a child. Witnesses saw Sayers Sr. walk up and shoot the victim in the head at close range. The affidavit goes on to suggest a possible motive. Witnesses had stated that the shooter's son had been murdered about a year ago by a friend of the deceased, and this murder was probably in retaliation or revenge. So it's just warped all the way around. Court documents identify the man who was killed as Malcolm Watson, who was 28 years old, and obviously this guy's being held for murder, so we'll see what we find out. A much lighter story. This is a good one. After a Michigan man was one number off from matching all 5 winning numbers in the state's Fantasy 5 jackpot last month, he got back in the action the next day, and it paid off, and he walked away with a huge payoff. He ended up winning the day after.
Wow.
He came up one short. The 53-year-old man, who chose not to reveal his identity, says that the night after his near win, he played again and matched all 5 numbers to win the $795,000 Fantasy 5 jackpot. The player won big after purchasing a winning ticket online July 27th. The jackpot for the July 26th game was $610,000. He said, I always buy Fantasy 5 tickets if the jackpot is over $250,000. I usually buy my tickets in store, but the night of the drawing, I realized I'd forgotten to buy some, so he went online and bought 2 tickets. And after the drawing, he says he received an email from the Michigan Lottery stating he'd won that he'd won $1 in the drawing. And he thought the dollar was all he had won until he received another email instructing him to log into his account to claim his prize. He said, when I logged in, I saw $795,000 pending. What? My first thought is, this is a scam.
Yes, of course.
But the reality of his big win began to set in while visiting the lottery office to claim his prize. He said, what's crazy is the night before, I matched 4 out of 5 numbers on my Fantasy 5 ticket and thought I was so close. He had won $100, but says that he was bummed to miss out on the large jackpot prize on the first one. So that's pretty cool.
So we don't know his identity, but he says he's planning on splitting it with his friends Chrysagon and the Skull Sealer.
Oh, well, they'll have plenty of time to spend together then. All right. This is a downer to end on, but it's a follow-up story from yesterday, so I'm going to end with this one. The dead woman who was found entangled in a baggage conveyor belt at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport apparently died by suicide, according to authorities.
Oh, so this was intentional?
Yeah, the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office concluded following an autopsy that the 57-year-old woman died by asphyxiation from hanging. Firefighters responded to a 911 call and found the woman's body entangled in the belt around 7:45 a.m. Thursday in a baggage room near the terminal that serves international flights. And we had read that it was the conveyor belt.
Right. Didn't realize she'd hung herself.
And somehow or another, I guess she got into contact. I don't know. But surveillance footage shows the woman entering the air around 2:27 a.m. Thursday. It does not show what happened to her. The room where the woman was found was off limits to the public. So
that kind of blows my mind that you don't have every inch of that area covered with cameras.
Yeah. All right. And there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right. We need to get a winner for the secret text word. So, Kathy, we'll ask for you to give us a number caller, please.
8.
All right. Caller number 8 at 215-263-WMMR. If you know the secret text word, then you should call. If not, don't call. But if you do happen to be number 8, you know the word, you got a prize on this end. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Contain it.
Can't contain it, Captain. Crazy Klingon.
Final frontier.
And his poopy sex.
Oh, dear God. Okay, so I guess that's revealed in the next movie that Sulu is gay.
And I think it's just, as he said, it's casually mentioned in passing.
Yeah, it's just...
It's not like, they're 69ing,
Yeah. I think I've decided something.
What did you... Wait, are you the decider?
No.
No?
I am the noticer.
Okay.
But I have decided that when I am the noticer...
Oh, you're going to do something?
You're going to put a fake beard on?
I'm going to put on...
Wow.
Nice. All right.
Hero
That's going to get old real quick.
noticer mask.
Oh, kind of like the noticer?
Preston Elliott, in the dark of night, he seeks out stories to entertain you. He is the noticer.
I have this superhero mask, and it's sat on my desk for years, and I'm like, I wish I could do something with that.
He wished he could do something with it.
So I'm now wearing the superhero mask when I am the noticer.
Known to a select few as the noticer.
Yeah. This will get old, right,
It's
Kate?
going to get old for you, not for me.
It's already old.
Well, I noticed that the Mega Millions jackpot for today has ballooned up to $540 million.
Where does that put that in comparison to the biggest of all time?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That $1.1 billion Powerball lottery, there's a still... I can't look at you
I'm sorry, I have this mask on my face right now.
Preston Elliott.
I'll take it off in a minute.
Nick can't look at him, but we can.
There were 3 winners, 3 tickets won. One is yet to be claimed. If Preston has a mask on, Casey probably should have one on too.
It's not that hard to push a button.
Casey Boy Wonder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Can I put some saran wrap on my face and have Steve
No,
take
fuck crap on your face. It'll give you a hot wharf.
A steaming...
Steaming Klingon?
Steaming Klingon.
I just gave Casey a steaming Klingon.
I'm sure if I'm wearing a mask, then Nick should take his shirt off.
Well, listen.
Okay.
Well, and if Nick's taking his shirt off, I should probably take mine off.
Oh, Marissa found some saran wrap.
Pencil load.
Dude, are you serious?
It's for the bit.
All right.
Preston Elliott, notice some other things. He's still wearing his mask.
I am still wearing my mask. You know what? I'm going to have an imprint of this mask on my face when I'm done, probably.
So people are going to know who you really are.
Damn it.
We have found out who Batman is. Mr. Wayne, would you step forward? So he's got the line around his...
Yeah. How'd you know?
What?
He does have eye makeup on too, right?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yes. How do you get that off so quickly? And
They're appliques.
And how do you put it on? But he does have.
What do you mean?
What?
He's got
see the lines.
The circles around his eyes like the trick binoculars.
And his hair's all molded into the pointed bat ears. That. Come here, look in the mirror. Oh, damn it.
For a while, believe it or not, there was octopus wrestling.
Really?
And you can look that up if you want to.
Who did that?
Or octopus fighting. I'm sorry.
Oh, so an octopus would face off against an octopus. It wouldn't be an octopus
No. A
face
person.
off against 8 people?
No, one person.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was a thing back in like the 1940s or something like that. Nick, do me a favor. Look it
Now
up.
it's time for an octopus fight. Say, this fellow looks rather spry. Do you care to face the octopus?
I wonder if there's
I
anything.
squirted ink in his face. That's dirty pool.
Nick is looking up. I don't see it. What are you looking at? The lion?
The lion and the anaconda. I didn't know that was a fight that was possible.
There are you can find animal fights, like in the wild.
To be honest, I never much liked anacondas anyway. But I guess if lions and anacondas can get along, maybe we all can.
Can you click on that lion anaconda fight? I want to see that.
That one looked fake.
I was going to watch
You think it's fake?
Doc Ock versus Spider-Man.
No.
Nick is.
There was a series for a while, Preston, you remember, where they had imaginary battles.
Yeah.
So who would win between a fight between a polar bear
and a crocodile?
And a crocodile, right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now, this is 4.5 minutes long.
Or what would win, I should say.
Yeah, we don't have time to watch all this. So now we're watching a lion attack a giraffe. Or actually, the giraffe is attacking the lion.
Yeah,
Lion, giraffe
Kicking its ass, too. Oh, my God.
Whoa.
Trampling this thing.
I know that you never thought that a giraffe could beat a lion. But I guess I never much thought that, too.
I never much thought that, too. Now we're watching a cobra versus a mongoose. Those are known adversaries. They would have fights. You put two of those in a
Ricky Tikki Tavi, right?
cage.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, meerkat versus hoot owl.
Snake versus crocodile.
All right, let's go.
Casey's all about this. Man. Yeah.
I think it's snake.
The snake will win the fight.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Looks like the
crocodile won it. I don't know.
I've seen alligator versus an eel.
Do they tap out?
The snake doesn't
Remember,
have any.
snake, safe word to sofa.
All right, jaguar versus crocodile. All right, let's see.
You gonna give him play-by-play?
Jag doesn't have a chance. He doesn't even know that the crocodile's in the water.
Looks like he's dragging it out, Casey.
Looks like he's dragging it out, though.
The U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued an opinion which found in part that sharing passwords is a crime prosecutable under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. And the decision, according to a dissenting opinion on the case, makes millions of people who share passwords for services like Netflix and HBO Go into unwitting federal criminals.
I don't want to go to jail for something stupid like that. Like I know people who have who rent like the streaming movies. Whatever's in the theater right now, they can get online. I'm like,
Right.
I am not
Wouldn't it suck?
doing hard time.
If you're sitting in a cell with a guy who cut somebody's head off,
Yeah.
what are you in for? I shared my Netflix Say that again? I shared my Netflix password. But tell me how you beheaded that family again.
All right, so I'm a little concerned by this news story.
How many federal laws have you violated?
I don't know. Are there any gray areas in this? And I don't quite get what the illegality on sharing passwords is.
All right, here let me. This is the case that supposedly may set the precedent. The decision came in the case of David Nussel, an employee at the executive search or headhunter firm Korn Ferry International. Nozzle, corn fairy.
And nozzle.
I'm the corn fairy. Your corn will grow tall and yellow. Thank you, corn fairy. The Indians refer to it as maize.
If it helps, corn is spelled Korn.
Oh, okay.
And then fairy is Ferry.
Wrong fairy. This is the corn fairy.
I only have one TV in my house, but other people use my Netflix account, and they have their own separate channels. But I'm the one that's paying for it. But I'm allowing them to use it in a different place.
No, then you should be okay if you're covered for X amount of screens.
Yeah,
then
I am.
I don't think
then
that
you're fine.
But
Okay.
it's
But the people are sharing it, and
I'd lawyer up.
This is all gonna be admitted as evidence in the trial.
Let me ask you something, Mr. McElwain. On the evening of April 23rd, you seemingly shared your Netflix password with a whole cadre of people.
I object.
I'd like to represent myself.
Khloe Kardashian is denying that she was bullying Chloe Moretz when she tweeted a photo of what she believed to be the 19-year-old star's bare butt over the Kim Kardashian-Taylor Swift drama.
Oh, man. Steve, you blew this one.
I saw this picture, though.
I didn't see it.
And it's, now, apparently there was butthole visible.
No.
That's what I hear because it was blocked out. Chloe Moretz Grace Mellencamp is bent over on the beach, and she's wearing a bikini, and they blocked out the area that would be said butthole.
If you're wearing a bikini, how do you see butthole?
The bikini
Off to the
cinches
side.
in, and the butthole pops out.
It's one of my favorite words, by the way.
Butthole.
Butthole.
All right, take a look at this picture.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right.
See what I'm saying?
So she's riding piggyback on a guy, and he's reaching around with his hands to grab her, I guess her legs to support her, but he grabbed her suit and pulled it off to the side.
Whoa.
Oh, that sucks.
And it exposes her butthole.
Okay, but why is Khloe Kardashian tweeting this?
Because she's striking back at Chloe Grace Moretz because she chimed in on the Tay Kanye conflict.
Now look at this butthole.
Yeah, look at this chick's butthole.
All right, all right. So the response that Chloe wrote was, "Is this the hole you're talking about, or whatever?"
Okay.
So I want to know what Chloe's Maurice Gretz Mellencamp's.
All right.
What her tweet was.
She initially reacted to the Kim and Taylor war by tweeting, "Everyone in this industry needs to get their heads out of a hole."
Yes.
Okay.
And look around to realize what's actually happening in the real world.
That prompted Chloe to post a picture of her butthole.
I rest my case.
Man.
I'm glad we did that story, though.
The butthole wars, they have begun. 93.3 WMMR is everything that rocks. I will buy you a new life, our friends in Everclear. Always like that song. It is 18 minutes after 10 on this Wednesday morning. Let me be clear, we're not wrapping up the show right now, right?
No.
Oh.
Make sure everybody knows that. I made a mistake yesterday. I thought that this was the end of the show. It is not. It's simply the beginning for our 8th caller, because if they have our secret text word correct, then they win a prize, and that happens to be Jordan. So we're going to go over here to Jordan and check in. Good morning, Jordan.
Hi, good morning.
Buddy, do you know what the secret text word is?
Receipt.
Receipt is correct. Yep, hang on the line, man. We're going to give you tickets to see Kumail Nanjiani on September 21st at the Fillmore in Philadelphia. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster.com. And then we grabbed a random texter, and that's John Watson, who hails from Bluebell. So John is also going to go see Kumail September 21st. So, like I said, tickets available, Ticketmaster.com. So congratulations to you. Oh, and the winning is just beginning, because now we're going to give away something with our lesson question. Yeah. We have a pair of tickets for an evening with Peter Billingsley. Ralphie from A Christmas Story.
I love it.
This is going to be Wednesday, December 4th at the Keswick Theater. So the question we have to go with this morning: when he's trying to fall asleep at night, what syndrome does Casey suffer from? We heard about it this morning. 215-263-WMMR. When he's trying to fall asleep at night, what syndrome does Casey suffer from? 215-263-WMMR. If you heard it and you know the answer, call now, and we will do the trash while you're calling in.
The trash business is a gold mine.
93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Horizon Services. They can help keep you cool this summer with same-day repairs and next-day installation on your AC. Horizon Services, help is on the way. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Nelly's legal team saying Missouri police were overzealous when they searched him outside a casino and found 4 ecstasy pills. Police say Nelly was acting strangely, repeating that it was getting hot in the casino and suggesting that he wanted to take off all his clothes. Hey! Janet Jackson revealing in a recent interview that her cousins include Stevie Wonder, Tracy Chapman, and Samuel L. Jackson. Janet says she often gets together with them on the weekends as they are all on the same paintball team.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
And finally, Grant Ellis from the season of The Bachelor has been announced as the lead for season 29 of The Bachelor. He was The Bachelorette, now he's The Bachelor. Friends say Ellis is a hopeless romantic and a stone-cold moron.
Yeah.
Trash.
All right, to the phones we go to see if we can get a winner. We need to know what the answer to this is. When he's trying to fall asleep at night, what syndrome does Casey suffer from? 215-263-WMMR. We'll go to Zach to see if he knows the answer. Hi, Zach. Morning, bud.
Hey, good morning.
All right, so what does Casey suffer from?
Hey, it's resting itch face. But I got to tell you guys, I've won a ton of stuff off of your show.
Yeah,
that's great.
And that's and
Do
you
you
just
feel
want
guilty?
to tell us it? Yeah, you feel bad about it?
No, not really. I've won 4 sets of concert tickets just this summer.
How about that, man? Well, you can only win once a month.
Yeah, there's a lot of people listening that do not like you, Zach.
Yes. All right, Zach. Well, hang on. We'll check our records and make sure it's been at least 30 days. And if you did indeed win, we'll set you up with a pair of tickets for an evening with Peter Billingsley and A Christmas Story. Wednesday,
Oh, and I also killed a hooker.
December 4th. At the Keswick Theater in Glenside. Tickets are on sale now via AXS.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, I have 2 stories to share with you this morning concerning music news. Guitarist Dave Navarro says that there is an unreleased NHC album out there featuring the late Taylor Hawkins. He also says that it might not see the light of day for a while, even if it deserves to. He said, I really believe that it deserves to come out because that record, to me, really showcased what a brilliant all-around musician Taylor was because he wrote most of the songs, played the drums, and sang them as well.
Huh. Not familiar with NHC.
No. I saw this, and I really don't know NHC, but he also, unless it's short for something that I'm not familiar with.
Not Happy Croissants?
But he also noted that it might be a little too soon for it to come out. Of course, Taylor passed away in March of 2022. So,
any indication in that story, Preston, about Navarro's health? Because he was suffering from long COVID for a stretch and had to stop touring and stuff.
No, it doesn't say anything in this particular article, so it was just a short little blurb about that. So
He does have resting itch face, though.
Who doesn't? And then one more quick thing, and then that's it. It's a big anniversary celebration with a fantastic price to it. Avenged Sevenfold has announced that they will be doing exclusive 25th anniversary, an exclusive 25th anniversary club show at the Observatory in Santa Ana, California. That's going to be October 25th. Tickets are just $25.
That's pretty good.
By the way. There are
Low dose show, they used to call those.
There are 2 catches, though. The observatory has a capacity of less than 1,000, so not everyone who wants to go is going to be able to. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time with a 2-ticket minimum. The other catch, you have to own one of the band's Deathbat NFTs to purchase tickets.
Are NFTs still happening?
Not that I know of.
It always seemed like the dumbest thing right from the get-go.
I agree. Yep, and people were on it like crazy from the beginning. But
look at this thing I don't have.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to do that. By the way, Nick found it is a group with Dave Navarro, Chris Cheney, and Taylor Hawkins. So it stands for Navarro Hawkins Cheney.
There we go. Not Dick Cheney.
and they called them they were yacht goth, a yacht goth supergroup.
Oh, I like that.
I like that a lot too.
Yacht goth.
Do you ever see? And I told you guys I don't scroll much anymore, but from time to time I've come across like these, Gen Xer. How can you tell a Gen Xer? And like when yacht rock music comes on, like their face pops up. And they look up from what they're doing and like, you'll hear like Steely Dan and it'll be like, where's that coming from?
There's another one where
That'd be me, yeah.
There's a guy, this guy you've had in conversation at a party where you're, and the guy's talking to you and then the song comes on and he's like, hey, yeah, hang on a second. I just love this part. And the dude does it and he noodles with his mouth like the whole guitar solo from one of the Steely Dan songs. It might have been
Reeling in the Years.
Reeling in the Years. That's exactly what it was. Hilarious.
That's funny. All right, that is all I have in music news for you. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We have one more segment to get to. It does include the letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize and whatever little nuggets Pierre has for you today. We'll find out. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. Here, I'm going to read this headline to you. Poisonous rattlesnake warning in South Jersey. Casey hates the idea of rattlesnakes. And where are you spending your summer?
South Jersey.
That's right.
Oh my
So this, honestly, and we have been for the longest time saying you have nothing to worry about, and apparently we were wrong.
Well, listen, I always thought that they were like west of the Mississippi, like Colorado, Utah, Nevada, that area. And then, lo and behold, a couple of summers ago, my father-in-law saw one up in the Poconos. And I'm like, what? And I didn't believe him.
Because he lies. He's the one who told you about the flying squirrels.
He's a drinker, and he's a
Let me
no
tell
liar.
you something. The place is crawling with unicorns.
Well, he also told me about the flying squirrels up there as well, and I
Now
didn't
that
believe him.
he's accurate.
He's accurate about the rattlesnakes too.
Yeah, the guy is just absolutely tapped into nature. He's Grizzly Adams.
He's a mountain man. He's
a mountain man.
Yeah.
He eats tree bark and lives off deer pee.
If you think one of these snakes is bitten, someone seek medical help immediately.
Oh my God! It says once they bite you, they turn your cell phone off.
Oh no!
Yeah, so you can't call for help.
They're that.
Yeah, they're smart too. Look at snakes getting it on.
We're looking at snakes screwing.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey!
Wow, look at that. That actually looks pretty hot. The way they wrap around each other like that.
It's romantic.
Look at that.
They provide their own bondage equipment.
That's cozy, actually. They're cuddling.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. Ah! Sorry. I got it all over what I perceive to be your back. I can't. Well, snakes, it's hard to tell.
One more time, I'm sorry. Snake sex on the Preston and Steve show.
I'm going to bang your skin right off you.
They're molting.
The whole thing, yeah.
Romantic.
I banged this chick so hard last night. She totally molted right there.
Can snakes use their own molted skin as condoms?
Oh, I don't know about that. I was thinking more of like a sex doll,
Yeah.
Because when the
Filled
skin
it up with peat moss. It was just like the real thing.
skin comes off whole sometimes, it seems like. Well, we got rattlers. There's a warning in South Jersey. Just to give you guys a head up, officially a warning. They're saying to keep an eye out. It's the mating season, and they're a little bit more prevalent this time around, even though they're endangered. So keep in mind, just listen for the sound
that's
of
it.
them mating.
And you'll know.
And you
Run.
should know. Exactly. And then finally, Korn will release its 12th album, The Serenity of Suffering, on October 21st via Roadrunner. Grammy Award winner Nick Raskelnik, who has worked with Foo Fighters, Deftones, and Mastodon, is producing it. So they're going in this softer direction. The album The album is a follow-up to 2013's Paradigm Shift. On the album, Slipknot frontman Corey Taylor makes an appearance on the song "A Different World." Stop it!
The hell?
It's gross.
Good Lord.
That reminds me of something. I can't.
Tasmanian
think of what
Devil?
it is. No, but I mean,
Slayer.
Do it again. All right. Okay. Nimnut.
Nimnut.
Nimnut. Is that what he's saying?
Nimnut. Yimnut.
Yimnut.
It's such a weird sound coming out of a human.
All right.
Did Mel Blanc do Tasmanian Devil?
Yes.
Let's see. Josh Dallas and Jennifer Goodwin fell in love off screen as their Once Upon a Time characters fell in love on screen.
I can't say I wouldn't fall in love with someone named Josh Dallas.
He told reporters at Comic-Con, magical. On and off screen, it was magical.
Magic.
I can remember now when we were shooting the pilot.
I'm going to cry.
We were shooting that scene where he rides up on the horse and she's asleep in the coffin and she's surrounded by
She's beautiful. Oh my God, she's a vision.
So she's asleep in the coffin.
Oh my God.
And she's surrounded.
She's a vision.
She's surrounded by the forest.
The chirp of a bird.
And listen, and he says, and she's, for all he knows, she's dead. And he goes to kiss her, and she went, "That's disgusting."
Yeah. Sure.
He thinks she's dead.
Oh, well, if you saw the scene, he's actually taking his pants off.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm alive. Oh, I knew that. I was just adjusting my... What were you about to do? Nothing. I had to pee.
You were going to pee on her?
No. I was going to go behind the tree. You were gonna bang a corpse. I was not. That would have changed the whole tone and tenor of the show if it turned out he was a necrophile.
Oh, my God.
He would be less charming, I would say that.
Yeah.
You know, charming in his thing. No, what? He'll dead people. No. Yeah. That's how he met Snow. Thought she was dead.
And then after that, she wakes up, and now he's committed.
He's stuck with her.
And he's stuck with her.
And on and on and on.
He just wanted to, do his business and move on his way because he's a necrophiliac.
Right. And it's horrible because there's so many times you can have a hummingbird land on your shoulder.
My mom last week had a hip replacement surgery.
Yeah.
So I'm over her house the other day, and so she can't, so after having a hip replacement, she has to sleep on her back. So
Sure.
she has a hard time with that. So she decided to sleep on the recliner downstairs because she can't sleep in her bed on her back. So the problem is she weighs 10 pounds, Steve.
She does. She's a tiny woman.
She's a tiny little thing. And so she...
WMMR. Our last musical contribution to the airwaves for the day as we prepare to skedaddle and let the master take over here in just a moment. But at 10:33, just reminding you, it's going to be a beautiful day today. 86 degrees and sunshine. Last couple days have just been right in the sweet spot, so we get a little bit more of that, tiny bit warmer. 88 tomorrow and sunshine, 90 on Friday, partly cloudy skies, and then Saturday and Sunday, some scattered showers. It all depends on where you are. I'm not sure what the shore forecast is or the specific areas that are going to get rain, but there are some scattered showers, so just keep in mind that you might get a little bit of rain on the weekend. I would like to thank Mr. David Attell.
Yeah.
Dave is always gracious and a funny guy, and we love him. He's going to be performing at the Borgata on Saturday. Show is at 7 p.m. If you need tickets, you can get them through Dave's website, daveattell.com, or you can go to Ticketmaster. prestonandsteve.com and get the information and tickets there too. But it was cool to talk with him.
Yeah, terrific guy, really is.
Yep. And then anything else? You know what? I do want to remind you real quick about the Who's Luau party that's coming up. Just it's a free event that we're doing, and this kind of we haven't had a whole lot of time to promote it, so I want to make sure that we hit it well. It's a week from tomorrow, and we're excited because we are going to have Paradise Island Entertainment. Man, these guys are super professional.
I am so jazzed for this friggin' thing, and we wanted to throw together a party just because we wanted a party. And this whole thing has now been an extra wonderful complexion.
Yeah, so we'll be expecting your arrival next Thursday at Valley Beach at Valley Forge Casino. It's free, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. If you're 21 or older, you can come and join us. And there's also going to be some prizes, including $500 Valley Forge Casino Resort stay.
Nice.
That we will set you up with, or it just says including $500 Valley Forge Casino Resort.
So they have a smaller version of the resort that's only $500.
It only costs $500.
Yeah. It's a tabletop version of the resort.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, I think it's like a card or some cash credit that you can use later on. So we'll be giving away some special things with that, and it's brought to you by Valley Forge Casino Resort. And I just want to tell you about that, and also the fact that you can win a trip with us to spring training next year, courtesy of Philly Sports Trips and PJ Willehands. You got to stop by your local PJ Willehands, find the Preston and Steve Spring Training display. There's a QR code there, and just go through that, and you can get signed up and possibly win that trip: airfare, hotel, boat party on a private yacht, tailgate party. One of our live broadcasts, all this stuff, contest rules and all the details, WMMR.com. You can even purchase a trip if you'd like to go along with us. So it's phillysportstrips.com. So that's coming up too. Pierre is indeed here. Hello, sir.
Greetings.
Wonderful to see you.
Lovely. It's been a lovely series of days. No humidity, nice warm temperatures. Could we have like 80 more days like that?
Yeah, well, for me, it is a classic Northern California, feel.
Yeah.
So that, to me, is idyllic weather.
Pierre, I wanted to tell you I was really enjoying the Muse block yesterday. I was just talking to Ryan Shuttleworth about it, and I had forgotten, because I hadn't heard in a while, the dude who's hammered in the idea that you use, and you introduce yourself as Rob Jones, and he just goes, "Nice to meet you, Rob." And I was really enjoying the music, and then to hear that bit, I when those things happen, it's just pure gold. And the fact that you were able to record it and then played it yesterday, it made me laugh out loud. So thank you for
You're
sharing
quite
that.
welcome. Muse, bring it to America. Sorry, what? Muse, bring it to America. What? They bring it to America.
Okay.
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 To him, that
But I
meant
said,
something.
You've got to enunciate. And then I said, now, repeat after me. The rain in Spain. Rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. Rain on the plain. I go, good. Now let's try this one. 77 years. I don't know that one.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's do the letter today, if you will.
Sure.
All right.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
S as in salty.
All right, S is your letter. We have a pair of Anita Diamond Stud earrings from Steven Singer Jewelers we're going to give away. These are real 3/8 carat natural diamonds. At Steven Singer Jewelers, your diamonds are always worth what you paid with a full value lifetime trading guarantee. Visit IHateStevenSinger.com and you get real natural diamond jewelry today. So what's happening on your program?
First of all, I wanted to mention the interview with Trey Cool is now up at WMMR.com. And I think the video will be following if it's not already there, but you can go there if you missed our conversation with Trey. Couldn't have been cooler. That was yesterday that we ran that in the 2 o'clock hour. Also today, another pair of tickets for the Hooters at the Univest Center in Quakertown, Friday, August 23rd. We've got really cool workforce blocks. Dire Straits. Mark Knopfler had a birthday on Monday, which we didn't get to, but we'll get to it today. I've got a wicked live version of Sultans of Swing.
Such a great song.
It's a great song anyway at 5 minutes. This is about a 10-minute version.
Wow.
And it features his extraordinary guitar playing, Mark Knopfler, but it really, like the best of jams that are good jams as opposed to jams that go off into the stratosphere and never come back. It takes you away and then brings you back. It's really, really cool.
That Double Alive, that album Alchemy, which is sensational. There's a number of great, it's just, I mean, it's full of that stuff. And they do a cover of that. We talked about the music Local Hero from the Indiana Number soundtracks. He closes the show with that.
Yeah, very cool. So we got that. And then Metallica also had the anniversary of the Black Album on Monday. And so I wanted to do something different. And when they offered this a couple of years ago, a re-release of Metallica's Black Album, but with all different bands covering songs from there.
Yeah.
So I've got a version of Enter Sandman from Weezer, for example.
Wow.
All these different really cool bands taking on songs from that album. So we will feature that in the box too.
That sounds very cool. Enjoy the show, folks. I want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, and local flavors. Tomorrow on our program, if you watch The Bear, we're going to have the character Chappie on. Adam Shapiro is going to be joining us. So fantastic show, and looking forward to talking to him. And we'll have many other things to get into as well. That is it. We are done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, gang. Bye-bye.